Magical Pokémon Urban System. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 1, Crossing Pokémon. At this moment, Liu didn't know whether to be happy or sad. The world that he had dreamed of so many times was now in front of him, waiting for him to conquer. However, thinking of his elderly parents and lovely sister at home, if they knew the news of his disappearance, they would definitely be heartbroken, and endless pain and sadness surged in Liu's heart. Hey, I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, I hope you can live in peace. Sister, you must take good care of Mom and Dad. A line of hot tears ran down Liu's face and ripped onto the ground. At this moment, Liu could only comfort himself in this way. After a few minutes, Liu finally calmed down and then showed a somewhat sad smile and said to the beauty in front of him, "I'm sorry, I lost my composure. It's okay, I've seen many trainers like this, fainting because of excitement about being able to take pets out for adventures. You must be like this, right?" Miss Joy smiled slightly and comforted Liu very considerately. Yeah. Yes. I'm too excited." Liu was stunned. There were actually people with such weak tolerance, but since there was a step, Liu went down the slope. But then, an inexplicable memory suddenly appeared in Liu's mind. In this memory, Liu was an orphan whose parents had both passed away. He relied on the subsidy from the Alliance to make a living, since he was a child. And just yesterday, when Liu was finally able to receive the initial Pokémon, he fainted because he was too excited. Yes, that's right. Liu nodded again to confirm. Yeah, I understand. By the way, how are you now? Today is the last day for new trainers to receive pets. If you don't go now, you can only wait until next year. Suddenly, as if she remembered something, Miss Joy spoke kindly to remind him. Nanny. Oh, I'm much better. I can go in a while. Thank you for your concern. Liu was a little confused when he heard this. Obviously, he had not fully adapted to the world background here. However, after a few seconds of stunnedness, Liu immediately reacted. Then you take a rest. I'll prepare some simple recovery potions for you. You can leave after drinking them. Seeing that Liu had nothing to do, Miss Joy bowed slightly and then said goodbye and left. After all, she still had a lot of things to do. Well, thank you. Go and get busy. After sending Miss Joy away, Liu lay on the bed, thinking about everything on Earth, thinking about the past, and not knowing how to face the future life. But when Liu thought of the mythical beasts with boundless magical powers in the Pokémon world, Liu's eyes finally flashed with joy. If I can get those mythical beasts, even if it's just for help, then I might be able to go back, right? That's right, I will definitely succeed, and maybe the future will be very good. Thinking of those elves with the ability to travel through time and space, Liu's eyes lit up, and he felt that there seemed to be a chance to return to Earth. Although the probability was very small, there was always hope. After drinking the potion sent by Miss Joy, Liu immediately felt full of energy, changed into casual clothes, thanked Miss Joy, and turned to leave the pet hospital. Don't think wrongly, in fact, pet hospitals are not just for treating pets, they also provide accommodation, food, medical care, business and other functions. Perhaps it was because the environment in the Pokémon world was better. Liu took a deep breath of air and felt relaxed physically and mentally, which was several times better than the pollution on Earth. It's understandable that such a magical product can be produced. Breathing the fresh air full of spiritual energy, watching the pedestrians walking around with elves on the street, Liu sincerely sighed at the magic of the Pokémon world in his heart. The streets were not very noisy at this time, and Liu didn't know where to go. But thinking of Miss Joy, as if reminding him that today was the last day to collect pets, Liu suddenly had a goal. Since he had decided to make a name for himself in this wonderful world, Liu must go all out. But before that, Liu had to go to the library. After all, only by knowing yourself and the enemy can you win every battle. Moreover, Liu was not sure whether this was exactly the same as the Pokémon world in his impression, and the library was the only place to understand this world. After asking several times, Liu finally came to the library. Under the guidance of the beautiful staff, Liu found a book called The History of the Development of the Magical World. After thanking the beautiful woman with satisfaction, Liu sat beside and read it carefully. After some understanding, Liu found that this place was exactly the same as the Pokémon in his impression. The familiar Pokémon was just without the protagonist Zyossi in the animation, but there was another Pokémon master with the same name 1,000 years ago. This world is called the Magic Continent. On this continent, there is only a vast continent, but even so, this only piece of land is several times larger than the Earth, not to mention the more boundless ocean. The land here is basically connected together, and only some isolated islands on the sea are independent. As for whether there is a continent in the endless sea, it is unknown, because there was once a king driving his flying elf to explore the sea for nearly a week, but in the end he returned helplessly. Because in the sea, countless powerful elves have been bred over the past 10,000 years, and their strength even exceeds that of the mythical beasts. However, it seems that, because the elves in the magical continent advocate freedom and peace, there are almost no Pokémon in the ocean that wreak havoc on the land. The entire continent is divided into the Kanto region, the Johto region, the Hone region, the Nuoke region. Each region has 4 kings specially sent by the Counselor family, a family with a counselor in the alliance, and a champion to protect the peace and tranquility of the region. The center of the continent is the headquarters of the Elf Alliance, the City of Creation. The entire Elf Alliance is composed of 16 major families, including the Dragon family, the Superpower family, the Oak family, the Ghost family, etc. However, these families basically live in the secret realm, and only their descendants will appear on the continent for adventure training. The reason why these families live in seclusion in the secret realm is first to prevent retaliation from the power of the Pluto, and also because the secret realm is not easy to enter, so the secrets of each family will not be easily exposed. In the alliance, there are 20 counselors, 16 of whom are champions, composed of the best of the major families, such as the champion of the Yulong family, Longdu, the champion of the Ghost family, Yaoyao. The remaining 4 counselors are talents with special comprehension. As for the specific situation, it is unknown. After all, they have special abilities, and are easily hostile to evil forces, so their information is basically unknown. Of course, there are some secluded strongmen who have not joined the Alliance as counselors, but their influence is still something that the Alliance cannot ignore, and once a crisis occurs on the continent, these secluded strongmen will also appear. In addition, there are other super families on the continent, but they did not join the Creation Alliance for various reasons, and because these families are extremely powerful, the Alliance did not force them too much. In addition, there are some magical places on the continent, such as the Frozen Snow Ridge, the Muai Plain, the Violent Flame region, the Poisonous Forest, the Ancient Ruins, the Thunder Canyon. These places are not only harsh in environment, but it is said that there are powerful elves living in them, so basically no one dares to enter them. However, there are always some people who are blinded by interests and break into them regardless of life and death, wanting to conquer those powerful elves in exchange for endless wealth. Even the endless sea surrounding the entire continent, because of their mysterious legends and the fact that they hide many powerful elves. There are also many pretentious trainers who break into these mysterious places, but they disappear without a trace. Of course, where there is light, there will be darkness. For some reason, an evil force suddenly emerged on the continent 3,000 years ago. They called themselves Pluto, and have been against the Alliance for thousands of years, endangering the safety of the entire continent. But the Alliance can only cope with it, and can't find the headquarters of Pluto at all, let alone destroy them. Therefore, the Creation Alliance has been fighting against Pluto for thousands of years without any result. Putting aside these distant things, Liu also learned that young people here will receive a Pokémon when they reach the age of 18, and then go on adventures and travel around, just like Zyossi in the anime, who is determined to become a Pokémon master. Don't think that 18 years old is too old. In this world that can breed creatures like Pokémon, the lifespan of ordinary people is 150 years old, and those masters can even live for more than 1,000 years. You can also choose other professions here. There is no fixed requirement, but people here basically use the goal of champion level powerhouses to motivate themselves. Therefore, Pokémon trainers are the most numerous professions on the continent, but also the most difficult to advance. Basically, it is difficult to make progress after reaching the elite trainer. In addition, the level of trainers here is 10 levels and 1 level, divided into ordinary trainers, intermediate trainers, advanced trainers, elite trainers, mentor trainers, gym trainers, king trainers, champion trainers, head trainers, and legendary mythical trainers that are unknown whether they exist. This level of assessment requires you to go to the trainer union for a level assessment. After passing the assessment, your personal information will be changed to the corresponding level. If your level is high enough, the alliance will also give various welfare benefits, and the treatment received will be different depending on the level. If your level reaches the head level, it can be said that you can walk sideways across the entire continent. It is unknown whether there are mythical trainers on this continent, because in the entire Pokémon League, the most powerful is a champion trainer. It is said that there is a super strong man who has never left the world on the Creation Mountain in the Creation City, the head of the Pokémon. But how many hidden strong men there are is not something that Liu can know. After all, these important secrets will not be written directly in books. In addition to these, Liu also got a lot of useful information, such as Liu knew that he had traveled to the edge of the Kanto region near the Endless Sea, King Mu Town in Lanling City. And Liu didn't know why, and there was some information in his mind that didn't belong to him. The memory said that he was an orphan in King Mu Town, Lanling City, and he survived by relying on the care of the Alliance since he was a child. Although this memory is inexplicable, it is very important to Liu, because he came from across after all. Without an identity background, it would be a threat to his future life and even his life. After all, the Alliance will not allow a person who does not exist to suddenly appear on the continent. Although this basic information would not be of much help to him, it gave him a better understanding of the world, and was of great help to his life in this world. After leaving the library, Liu went to the research institute in King Mu Town to collect the initial elves after some inquiries. Chapter 2 Pokémon System, Part 1. Walking into the research institute, Liu saw that there were only a dozen researchers with the word Researcher 20th on their heads, busying around several strange machines. When she saw someone coming in, a beautiful service staff immediately came over with a smile and said to Liu, "Hello, I'm Huzi from the Aoki Research Institute. You should be here to pick up the new Pokémon, right?" Because it was the day for distributing Pokémons recently, Researcher Huzi asked this question, which was convenient for Liu. So Liu simply said, "Hello, Miss Huzi, I'm the new trainer Liu this time. I don't know what I should do. Reality is reality after all, and it can't be as casual as in the game." Although Liu inexplicably has an extra memory, he still needs to act cautiously. Don't worry, it's very simple. Come, just follow the prompts and fill in your information, Huzi said as she led Liu to the machine test benches set up around. At this time, there were many teenagers of the same age as Liu who were excitedly filling in information, with happy smiles on their faces, and imagining what their first Pokémon would look like in their hearts. "Yeah," Liu responded, walked forward and looked at the screen carefully. However, after seeing the prompt on the screen, Liu found that the so-called information filling was not troublesome. First, your face was scanned to identify your personal information. Because Liu suddenly had more memories, he was not too worried about these. Then he filled in his name, age, etc., just like applying for an ID card and fingerprint verification, etc. After filling in the information, Liu saw a machine similar to a mobile phone spit out from a groove in the middle of the machine that was similar to an ATM. At first glance, he recognized that it was exactly the same as a Pokémon machine in the anime. Liu guessed that its functions should be similar to those in the anime. Seeing that the information was filled in successfully, Liu breathed a sigh of relief. Liu picked up the machine and walked to Huzi. At this time, Huzi was serving a girl with long flowing hair. Seeing Liu coming over, she nodded to Liu. Huzi directly pressed a button on the machine, and then Liu saw 3 Pokeballs being teleported over. Yes, it was instant teleportation, but this was understandable. After all, so many Pokeballs could not have been kept in the research institute all the time. They must have been teleported from the Alliance headquarters. Moreover, along the way, Liu also saw the technology of this world. Even a small town is so developed, and its technological strength can be seen. Well, Liu, there are 3 pets here, namely the fire-type Charmander, the grass-type Bulbasaur, and the water-type Squirtle. Just when Liu was sighing at the magic of technology, Huzi first released the 3 pets, and then suddenly said to Liu. Hearing Huzi's words, the girl also looked at Liu curiously, but did not show any expression. Then she turned her head and directly picked up one of the water blue Pokeballs, thanked Huzi and left directly. Liu was confused throughout the whole process. Because of the girl's coldness, Liu was also a little embarrassed, because he actually smiled at her, but did not get any response, as if she didn't see him. I choose Charmander. With an awkward smile, Liu also walked up and directly chose Charmander, because the fire-type Charmander has always been Liu's favorite initial Pokémon, especially the final form of Charizard, which is handsome in appearance and powerful. Okay, here, this is Charmander's Pokéball. From today on, you will officially become a member of the Alliance, so let's work together for the future of the Alliance. As if she didn't see Liu's embarrassment, Huzi encouraged Liu seriously. Thank you, Miss Huzi, I'll leave first. Liu was about to leave and began to say goodbye. Wait, there's this. Huzi pressed another button, and suddenly a white backpack was teleported over. This is a space backpack, which contains various props you need for your travel. Like Pokeballs, some potions, etc. are all necessities for the wild, but there are only a few, and you need to buy them yourself after you use them up. And then there is the 10,000 yuan funded by the Alliance. Handing over the backpack, Huzi patiently explained again. After all, these things must be made clear, otherwise if the trainer gets into trouble, because he doesn't understand the specific operation of the props, it will be a big fault of the Alliance. Well, thank you Miss Huzi, I'll take my leave then. Having achieved his goal, Liu did not stay any longer. After saying goodbye to Huzi, he came to the town to stroll around casually, enjoying the scenery of the other world. Everyone is full of curiosity about the completely different world. After strolling for a while, Liu bought some food and tools that might be needed on the road. Anyway, he had a space backpack, so he didn't worry about carrying. As for the money, haha, the so-called newcomer fund of 10,000 yuan is actually to get rid of Liu, who made him an orphan. As for what Liu should do in the future, that is not the Alliance's concern. But it is not impossible to make money. You can also go to work while taking risks, or make money by betting with others, participating in competitions, etc. But what annoyed Liu was that, although this place was like a game world, everyone had their own name on their heads. But for some reason, Liu did not have any abilities in the game, such as backpacks, personal information panels, and even tasks. This blinded Liu. Without the system panel, he could not see the detailed information of the elves, but fortunately, he had the elf machine, so he could barely see some information. But why can't I accept the mission? If I can't accept the mission, it means that Liu can't get various props, and can't upgrade quickly. Hey. It may be an accident. I can't give up easily. According to the plot in the novel, the system generally needs to be activated. Well, that's it. But how to activate it? Liu, who was completely helpless with the system, could only burst into tears and stare at the sky in silence. Kingmu Town is not very big, nor is it small. After buying some necessities, Liu walked for more than an hour before leaving the town. As for the destination, Liu plans to go to the nearest big city to see if there is anything to gain. To the west of Kingmu Town is Kingmu Forest, and on the other side of the forest is a city called Lanling City. However, Kingmu Forest is so large that it is impossible to reach it in one day without a rideable elf. However, there are many small towns around this forest, and Liu is not worried about being stranded in the wild without a place to stay. Most of the elves in the forest are insect type, grass type, and a few poison type elves. As for other attributes, although there are some, they are not common. With the little fire dragon following closely behind him, Liu was extremely excited. This was his first elf. Walking in the silent forest, Liu had been thinking about how to turn on the system, but he had no idea, after thinking for a long time. Although he was depressed, Li Yu had no choice. He took out the elf machine and looked at the various black technology capabilities on the elf machine. Li Yu felt that the technology on Earth was too low level. If the technology of this magical continent could be brought to Earth, conquering the Earth would not be a dream. Li Yu yai for a long time and finally sighed dejectedly. Alas, it's a pity that I don't know if I can go back to Earth. Mom, Dad, and little sister, I just hope you can be well and wait for me to have a chance to go back again. Just as Li Yu sighed, an ethereal voice suddenly came into Li Yu's mind. Li Yu was shocked and then excited. Ding, energy absorption is complete. The Pokémon system is officially activated. Please check it yourself. What? There is actually a system, and it is activated. Haha. After waiting for the moon and the stars, Li Yu finally waited for the system to be activated. He was immediately excited and had more expectations for the future. Ding. System activated. Officially integrated. Integration in progress. Ding. Scan and find Pokémon data. Syncing. Ding. Find map. Syncing. Ding. Find auxiliary data. Syncing. Ding. Fusion successful. Pokémon system officially opened. Host, Li Yu Authority, Level 0, Upgrade conditions, have 10 Pokémon current 1/10, Strength, Ordinary, Low Level, Points. 0 Shared Talent, None System Function, Shuttle Space, can go back and forth between the Earth and the magical world through the Space Gate. Cooling time for each use is 24 hours current 4/24. Auxiliary functions, Pokémon system, can identify various information of Pokémon. Network system, unlimited communication, not restricted by location, unlimited networking, and has super control over the network. Chapter 3 Pokémon System, Part 2. Just like the system panel in the game world, appeared in front of Li Yu. Li Yu looked at it carefully, and then was ecstatic. It was not for anything else, but the shuttle ability was what Li Yu desired most, because it meant that he could shuttle between the Earth and the magical world at any time. Although there is a 24-hour cooling time after each use, it is negligible compared to the good news of being able to return to the Earth. In addition, Li Yu's current authority is only level 0, and the upgrades are not simple, but Li Yu feels that, since there is hope, as long as he works hard, there will be a day to upgrade. As the system absorbs and digests the information input to Li Yu has a better understanding of the system. First of all, it is a question of authority. As long as Li Yu meets the restrictions and completes the authority upgrade task, the authority level can be upgraded, and every time the authority level is upgraded, Li Yu can get a chance to share the ability of the elves he owns. As for strength, it is an evaluation of Li Yu's strength realm, and the sharing ability refers to the ability that Li Yu shares each time, whether high or low, strong or weak. It all depends on Li Yu's own efforts and choices. Of course, it doesn't mean that Li Yu can use it perfectly after sharing. It depends on Li Yu's authority. For example, Li Yu got a high level pet by chance. Although he can share the ability, but the authority is not enough, the strength of the shared ability will be suppressed. There are also auxiliary functions. The elf system is the ability to see the information of the elves in the animation, but after the integration and strengthening of the system, the information seen is more comprehensive and detailed, and even the information of various props can be seen. But it's a pity that it can't be used on Earth. It is said that the data is missing. I don't know what's going on. Hey, if I can identify the creatures on Earth after returning to reality, then the dragon, phoenix, white tiger, and black tortoise are all awesome. I'm awesome if I get one, but what the hell is a lack of data? Thinking of the super beasts and the myths and legends of the Earth, and then thinking of the system, Li Yu is really helpless and can only sigh secretly. The last network communication system is even more satisfactory to Li Yu, and its ability is comparable to the super optical computers described in those future novels. With it, Li Yu can do whatever he wants in the network world of the Earth. What kind of hacker or red hacker will never find any clues left by Li Yu, and he is rampant even in the magical continent. For now, everything is developing in a direction that Li Yu is satisfied with. However, before that, Li Yu has one most important thing to do: identification. After saying that, the information panel of the little fire dragon appeared in front of Li Yu. Name, Little Fire Dragon attribute, Fire, hidden attribute, Dragon, not activated. Qualification, Epic level, Ordinary level, 8th level 36%. Ability, Talented skills, Dragon Dance, dance the mysterious dance that the Dragon Clan does not pass on, and improve your attack and speed. Start at level 10, Explosive Flame Flash, wrap the whole body with flames and attack the opponent, and you will also suffer considerable damage. There is a chance to burn the opponent. Start at level 25, Flame Dragon Rush, gather all the strength of the body and attack the opponent continuously and violently. Start at level 40, Dragon God Dive, release the terrifying Murderosaur and hit the opponent at the same time, which sometimes makes the opponent timid. Unlocked at level 60, Learning Skills, Claws, attack the opponent with hard claws. Howl, reduce the opponent's attack level. Sparks, attack the opponent with flames, with a chance to burn the opponent. According to the system information, Liu knew that each elf has a qualification limit, and the qualification represents the highest level it can reach. The system classifies the qualifications of elves into ordinary pets, black iron, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, epic, legend, sub-god, mythical beast, and the strongest super mythical beast. In addition, the strength of the elves is also divided according to this standard. Every time the elf is promoted to a high level, its strength will grow by leaps and bounds. And every time you break through the level, you need to accumulate more experience. As for how much experience is needed, it depends on whether the elf can comprehend the power of advancement. If the speed of comprehension is relatively fast, it only takes a few days to find the feeling of advancement, directly advance, and the strength rises. Otherwise, it is possible that you will never be able to make any further progress in your life. The system stipulates that each of Liu's elves can only have 10 skills, 5 innate skills, and 5 learning skills, and it can only be less, not more. Talent skills are the skills that elves are born with, hidden in their blood. No matter what their qualifications are, they can be learned directly, as long as they reach the level. Learning skills are skills that are created by practicing and exploring, or by imitating the skills of other elves, and inventing skills that suit them. Therefore, this learning skill depends entirely on the elves' own comprehension ability. If the elves have high comprehension, they may learn those powerful skills, even when they are at a low level. Well, I'm very satisfied with the system. After all, it cannot be changed. The main thing is that Charmander is really amazing. Liu is still very satisfied with Charmander's qualifications. The epic level is not low, and he can also learn high level skills in advance, which shows that his talent and comprehension are high. If you want to upgrade the elves, you can do tasks, fight with others, or accumulate experience bit by bit through daily training. According to the system settings, the level difference between the two sides of the battle shall not exceed 10 levels. Of course, the low level challenge to the high level is an exception. On the contrary, if Liu uses a high level elf to fight against the opponent's low level elf, there will be no experience. Then there is the issue of experience for upgrading. The experience required for the elves to upgrade in different realms is different. The higher the realm, the more experience is required. The specific amount is determined by various factors, such as the elves' attributes, types, talents, qualifications, comprehension, etc. However, this does not mean that Liu can use low-level elves to challenge high-level elves, and then directly lose to quickly gain experience, because the system will automatically detect whether Liu has cheated. Once discovered, the level will be immediately reduced by 10 levels. In addition, there are shortcuts for elves to quickly break through the rank. In addition to comprehending power, they can also force themselves to break through the rank through external pressure. There is also the problem of swallowing some natural treasures, such as flame stones, ice stones, grass spirits, shadow stones, etc. Once successfully refined, the level will soar directly, and it is also possible to break through the rank, but these natural treasures are as rare as phoenix feathers and unicorn horns. There is also the issue of evolution. Every time an elf reaches a level that can evolve, there are 3 choices. One is to evolve through the power of blood autonomously, which is the best way. The second is to passively evolve by absorbing evolution stones, because evolution stones contain some unknown mysterious power that can help elves evolve, but the effect is not as good as autonomous evolution. Because although absorbing evolution stones can also evolve, the improvement in strength is very limited, and it may not be successful, and it requires a large number of evolution stones to support. As for the last one, it is even more tragic, that is, not evolving and maintaining the current form. This is not unheard of. Many civilian trainers cannot afford evolution stones, and elves cannot evolve autonomously, so they maintain their original form. Because evolution is different from advancement, elves that do not evolve can still be upgraded, but elves that do not advance will be stuck in strength until they die, and there will be no improvement. This is a new book by a newcomer, and the author does not have much experience. I hope friends who like it can collect it. Please recommend, please comment, please ask for all kinds of requests. Chapter 4: The Mysterious Old Man. This system that suddenly appeared must be related to my time travel, but what is going on? With my current strength, I can't touch it. However, no matter what the truth is, since I have the opportunity, I must seize it tightly. Let's go, Charmander, let's work hard together in the future, come on. After roughly understanding the information of the system, Liu had a general idea of what to do in the future. After encouraging Charmander, one man and one elf started to set off again. Roar. Charmander responded to Liu's encouragement with high morale. The warm sunlight shone through the dense forest and shone on Liu and Charmander. Although the lush branches and leaves blocked the sunlight, it did not feel a bit eerie, but gave people a feeling of vigorous vitality. At this moment, an old voice suddenly came from behind Liu. Young man, wait a minute. Liu turned around and saw that it was a white-haired old man who looked at least over 60 years old, but he did not feel any aging. And most importantly, there was no name on the head of this mysterious old man. Because Liu came from a time travel, at first, everyone he saw had their names displayed above their heads, but now this mysterious old man did not give any hints. Every time he looked at the old man, Liu would feel an inexplicable aura, as if he had the temperament of a black hole, which could devour your sight and make it difficult for people to see clearly. This is a master. Liu thought so. Old man, what can I do for you? Although he did not feel threatened by the other party, the strength of the two was obviously not at the same level, so Liu's tone was very respectful, and the other party was as old as Liu's grandfather, so he did not feel at a disadvantage. No, although I don't need your help with anything, you need my help, don't you? Looking at Liu meaningfully, the old man said with a smile. I need help. Okay, old man, then how can you help me? Confused, Liu did not know what the mysterious old man meant, so he could only ask directly helplessly. Haha, you will know later. I hope you can live up to my expectations. It all depends on you in the future. After saying that, the old man pointed at Liu, and a milky white energy instantly poured into Liu's body. Then the old man smiled at Liu and disappeared instantly. What? Liu saw the old man attack him, but before he could be shocked, a system prompt suddenly broke his inner peace. Ding, the space teleportation cooldown is over. You can use it at any time. Liu couldn't help but be shocked. This mysterious old man just waved his hand to send out a beam of energy, and the space teleportation cooldown was over. And judging from his ability to disappear instantly, his strength is at least at the same level as the gods on Earth. Could it be? Liu suddenly remembered that he was not only not dead after being struck by lightning, but also traveled to this magical continent. In addition to the mysterious old man's powerful and magical strength just now, Liu felt that the reason why he traveled through time and had this adventure might have something to do with the mysterious old man. Old man, thank you. Liu didn't know what to do, but then his heart was filled with gratitude, and he shouted loudly to the place where the mysterious old man disappeared. Calming down, Liu really wanted to go back to Earth immediately, but he remembered that the ability of instant transmission would require a 24-hour cooling time once used, so he decided to use it later. Now let's see what these two things are. It turned out that the old man left two things for Liu when he left. One was a fairy egg, and the other was a fist-sized purple black bead. The illusory runes on the bead appeared and disappeared from time to time, which was extremely mysterious. Identify. When the identification ability was used, the information of the item appeared in Liyu's mind. Mysterious bead, unknown attributes, unknown function. Introduction to the strange fairy egg, unknown fairy egg. I don't know what fairy egg can hatch. I hope you are strong enough. Hatching conditions. 10 million points of any energy. Currently 0.1 million. Liyu was speechless. This was too bad. None of the properties could be seen clearly. However, when he thought that this was given to him by the mysterious old man, it must be not an ordinary item, and he could not help but feel a little bit of expectation. However, it was a bit difficult to absorb so much energy, because the system said that only those attribute stones could contain energy, and it was even more difficult to obtain attribute stones. Only those extremely spiritual places could produce them. The so-called extremely spiritual places are places where a single element is highly concentrated, such as volcanoes, glaciers, sunny places, and shady places. However, these places are often occupied by powerful wild elves, which are very dangerous. Hey, there must be a way when the car reaches the mountain. I can't do anything if the opportunity doesn't come. Accept my fate. Liyu had no choice but to draw circles in the corner silently. The elves encountered in the forest were basically insect type and grass type elves. Although there were not many types, it was enough for Liyu. So Liyu decided to try his luck. It would be good if he could subdue a few, but it also depended on luck. It was not something he could encounter just because he wanted to. Liyu's luck seems to be good today. After searching for several hours, Liyu finally found a gathering place of Butterfree near noon. But, what should I do? They are all gathered together. It's not easy to start. Just when Liyu was worried about how to quietly subdue a Butterfree, a rumbling earthquake sound suddenly came from a distance. Sure enough, not long after, a group of armored rhinos like armored vehicles rushed towards Liyu with great momentum, scaring Liyu to death. Fearing that he would die heroically if he was not careful, the group of Butterfree was even more frightened and fled in all directions. Seeing this, Liyu was ecstatic and thought to himself, even God is helping me. Carefully, Liyu followed a Butterfree that was much larger than the ordinary ones. Liyu had been envious of this Butterfree just now. It had a good talent, and Liyu wanted to upgrade his authority as soon as possible. It was definitely the most suitable Pokémon to subdue. It was just that, because its level was a little higher than Charmander and its skills were too complicated, it was a little difficult to subdue it. Name, Butterfree attributes, Bug plus Flying qualifications, Gold rank, Black Iron rank, 11th level 36%, abilities, talented skills, Super Absorption, absorb the opponent's physical strength to restore itself. Already enabled, Sky Break, attack the opponent with a strong wind. Enabled at level 25, Signal Beam, release a mysterious ray to attack the opponent, with a chance to confuse the opponent. Enabled at level 40, Learning Skills, Telekinesis, use weak telekinesis to attack the opponent, with a certain chance to confuse the opponent. Poison Powder, sprinkle poison powder on the opponent to poison it. Paralysis Powder, sprinkle paralysis powder on the opponent to paralyze it. Sleep Powder, sprinkle hypnotic powder on the opponent to make it sleep. It seems that we have to choose a quick battle. Liyu decided to subdue it violently, otherwise it would be dangerous if it was counterattacked. Once the various negative state skills were activated, Liyu would definitely be in trouble. After following this Butterfree all the way, it finally seemed tired, so it stopped in the grass to rest. Good opportunity, come out. Charmander, use Sparks. Liyu saw the opportunity and instantly released Charmander to attack directly. Roar. With a loud roar, Charmander spit out a bowl-sized spark and attacked Butterfree. Butterfree was resting and didn't expect to be attacked. He wanted to dodge, but it was too late. He could only move his body, but was still attacked, and fell to the ground in an arc in the air. Claws. As Charmander's claws attacked Butterfree again, the battle was coming to an end. Although it was unexpected and suspected of a sneak attack, the result was good. Swish. The Pokeball was thrown out and accurately hit the unconscious Butterfree. Liyu looked at the flickering Pokeball nervously. After all, it was the first time Cough cough. The first time to capture a Pokémon, it was inevitable to be nervous. But the facts proved that Liu's nervousness was unnecessary. If he couldn't capture it, it would be strange. Beep. The battle is over. Charmander wins the cross-level battle and gains 100 experience points. It is currently at level 8, 46%. Butterfree gains 50 experience points. It is currently at level 11, 41%. Chapter 5 Scyther. Phew. Success. You are so amazing. Thank you, Charmander. Seeing that Charmander fought without any delay and had good control over his skills, Liu praised him sincerely. Roar. Liu walked forward, picked up the Pokeball, and released the captured Butterfree. After all, Butterfree had suffered a lot of damage in the previous battle, so he needed to be treated quickly. He took out the healing spray from the space backpack and treated Butterfree carefully. Liu then put it back into the Pokeball to recuperate. Charmander, come back too. After capturing Butterfree, Liu was one step closer to his goal. After quickly eating some bread, Liu couldn't help but miss the delicious food and soft big bed in the pet hospital. Oh, the difference is too big. No, next time I must buy more delicious food and put it in my backpack. Anyway, it won't go bad. I can't think about it anymore, otherwise I can't help wanting to eat. This hard life is really not for human beings. It would be great if I had a chef like Xiaozi. Well, I must find a companion who can cook. Liu wants to enjoy life, but he is too lazy to do it. This is a typical representative of being lazy and gluttonous. I don't know which unlucky person will become Liu's target. Not long after Liu set out again, he seemed to be blessed by the goddess of luck and met another elf with good talent. Name, Scyther attributes, insect plus flying qualifications, diamond level, normal, 9th level 36%, abilities, talented skills, insect chirping, vibrate the wings in a unique way, to send out sound waves to attack the opponent. Start at level 10, sky breaking, attack the opponent with a fierce strong wind. Start at level 25, back to the past, use the last strength to attack the opponent. Restore a small amount of physical strength after hitting. Unlocked at level 40, skills to learn, lightning flash, attack by approaching the enemy at high speed. Vacuum wave, swing your fist to send out a vacuum wave attack. Gathering key, concentrate your mind and gather your key to improve your hit rate. Blade attack, swing the blade and hit the enemy's vital points. I can't defeat the enemy by force, so I can only outsmart him. Well, let's use the dirty style. Hey, I'm embarrassed to bully him. Scyther, I want to subdue you. Let's fight. This time, Liu did not choose to attack suddenly, but shouted at the green figure in front of him, ready to fight in an upright manner. Lily. Looking at the human who provoked him, Scyther whistled, wielded his double blades, and faced Liu in full battle. Very good, come out. Butterfree. That's right, Liu used the Butterfree that he had just subdued this time. After being treated with the healing spray, Butterfree quickly recovered and was ready to go on the field. Bang, bang, bang. That's it. Butterfree, fly up, use the 3 series powder. Liu took the initiative and gave a direct order. Bang, bang, bang. The invisible and colorless sleeping powder, paralysis powder, and poison powder enveloped Scyther with the flashing of Butterfree's wings. Scyther, sensing the danger, quickly glided up, but at this time the 3 series powder had already spread around it, and it was inevitably affected, and its reaction speed was significantly reduced. Cree. The rapidly flashing figure was like a phantom, and Scyther's lightning flashed in an instant. Liu had no time to command, and Butterfree was punched and fell to the ground. Butterfree, cheer up, use telekinesis to interfere with its actions. At this time, Scyther had been hit by the 3 series powder. As long as it delayed for a while, it would definitely lose its combat effectiveness. Bang. Butterfree, who struggled to get up, also used the maximum telekinesis to act on Scyther, restraining its ability to move. Just like carrying a mountain on its back, Scyther felt uncomfortable all over and tried hard to break free, but Butterfree seemed to want revenge, and its telekinesis firmly imprisoned and oppressed Scyther, leaving it no chance to escape. Butterfree kept dodging Scyther's slow attacks, and at the same time, its telekinesis was always acting on it, without any slack. The severe consumption of physical strength and the increasing effect of the 3 series powder finally made Scyther lose its combat effectiveness and fall to the ground. Liu finally smiled at this and threw out a Pokeball, but Scyther still couldn't escape Liu's clutches. Ding, the battle is won. Butterfree gained 50 experience, currently at level 11, 42%. Scyther gained 20 experience, currently at level 9, 38%. He treated the 2 Pokémons with medicine and took them back. This time, Liu's goal was basically achieved, and it was time to quickly rush to the next town. After about 3 or 4 hours, the sun was about to set, and Liu finally saw the shadow of a small town, which was located on the edge of the forest, and was called Senai Town. Just as Liu was about to enter the town to rest, a voice suddenly came. "Hey, that kid, let's have a fight." Liu turned his head to look in the direction of the voice, and saw a boy in a grey training suit walking slowly towards Liu. Okay, but hurry up, I still have to eat." Because of time constraints, Liu wanted to refuse, but he was extremely eager to fight in his heart. After all, he also wanted to test his strength. "Very good, my name is Tienan, fighting is my pursuit. If you win, I will treat you to a meal." Tienan said to Liu with an expression that you are honored. "My name is Liu. Let's begin." 3x3 relay battle. Liu was speechless. "My blood is boiling. Come out. Beedrill." As Beedrill appeared, its attributes also appeared in Liu's mind. Name, Beedrill attributes, Bug plus Flying qualification, Silver level, Black Iron level 10 ability, Talented skill, Crazy Needle. Other skills are not yet activated. Learning skills, Bug Bite plus Breaking Air slash plus Falling Punch. Butterfree, it's up to you. After a quick thought, Liu chose Butterfree. "I'll attack first. Beedrill, use Crazy Attack." Tienan said. HMPH, Butterfree, dodge and use 3 element powder. Liu said not to be outdone. Anger and chase. Use telekinesis to protect your whole body. Liu knew that the opponent's combo could not be avoided at all, so he simply used defense as offense. Sure enough, Butterfree, which was protected by telekinesis, was directly hit, but did not suffer much damage. Come back. Butterfree. Scyther. That's right, Butterfree's mission is to assist, and Scyther is a real killer. Use Sharp Blade attack after getting close to the opponent with Lightning Flash. Scyther's speed is not slow to begin with, and with the acceleration of Lightning Flash, the attack directly hits Beedrill, killing it instantly. Very good, I'm going to get serious. Come out. Pidgeot. Iron Man was not discouraged at all, but instead was full of fighting spirit, and released the Pokémon again. Pidgeot. Cuckoo. After Pidgeot came out, and glided in the sky for a circle, he stood in the air, looking at Scyther from a distance, his eyes full of fighting spirit. Name, Pidgeot attributes, Flying qualification, Gold rank, Black Iron 12th ability, Innate skill, Whirlwind, the rest are not activated. Learning skills, Tailwind plus Breaking Air slash plus Strong Wing. Seeing Pidgeot's attributes, Liu felt a little dignified. It seems that it's not easy to deal with. Liu thought to himself. Bobo, use Whirlwind. Go. The surrounding air rolled with Bobo's attack, gathering into a tornado, and sweeping towards Scyther. Use Vacuum Waves continuously. Attack that tornado. Scyther also had a strong fighting spirit, waving its claws quickly, shooting out vacuum waves, as if they were free, attacking the tornado, and then exploding, rolling up gusts of wind, blowing Liu and the others so hard that they couldn't open their eyes. Boom. Like a bomb exploding. With a boom, the wind dissipated, rolling up ripples. What a pity, the 3 series powder died before it could take effect. It's a bit tricky. Thank you for your hard work, Scyther. It's up to you next, Charmander. After taking back the unconscious Scyther, Liu decided to use Charmander to fight the enemy. Sparks. The high temperature deadly flames gushed out of Charmander's mouth and attacked Bobo. Because he had just released a big move, Bobo's physical strength was seriously lost. He had no chance to dodge, and was hit directly. His elegant feathers were also burned and smelled burnt. Bobo, hold on. Use Lightning Flash and Shock. Tienan commanded. Very good, Charmander. Another spark. Liu also fought back. Bobo's figure quickly leaped and hit Charmander like a shockwave, and Charmander's high temperature sparks also attacked Bobo. Chapter 6 Victory Return. Bang, bang. The first sound was the sound of the attack collision, and the second sound was the sound of the impact of Bobo falling to the ground. You are very powerful, but I will not lose to you easily. Nidalang. 241. Although Teenan was at a disadvantage, he still shouted loudly with fighting spirit. Name, Nidalang attribute, poison qualification, gold rank, black iron 11th level ability, innate skill, telekinesis, the rest are not activated. Inherited skills, stare plus poison needle plus continuous kick plus pecking learning skills, none. How? You are indeed very powerful, but the winner will definitely be me. After reading the attributes of Teenan's last Pokémon, Liu breathed a sigh of relief. Nidalang, use stare. Buzz. The silent momentum pressed down, and the suppression of a higher level than Charmander made Charmander difficult to move. Charmander, hold on. Liu said. Don't give him a chance, use continuous kick. Teenan was ready to pursue the victory and level the situation, so he directly prepared to pursue the victory. Charmander was extremely furious under the invisible pressure, with anger rolling in his eyes. Just as the attack was about to fall on him, suddenly, an equally powerful momentum slowly rose, and Charmander's momentum suddenly increased. Beep. Charmander broke through the level in the battle, comprehended the dragon's wrath, and is currently at level 9. 1% what? As Liu exclaimed, Charmander was majestic, and a dragon-shaped shockwave with rolling anger instantly hit Nidalang. Boom. Ding, the battle is over. Butterfree gained 100 experience, currently at level 11, 44%. Scyther gained 200 experience, currently at level 9, 56%. Charmander gained 200 experience, currently at level 9, 5%. As the system's prompt sound ended, Teenan's voice came at the right time. You are very strong. I lost. I'm willing to accept the loss. Let's go. I will treat you to a meal. Teenan has a carefree personality, and he was not angry after losing. Instead, he put away Nidalang directly and invited Liu. You are not bad either. You are very strong. Liu said modestly. That's right. I'm a famous battle expert. Hearing Liu's praise, Teenan immediately said proudly. Well, let's go eat. Liu was also defeated by Teenan's thick skin, speechless, and could only change the subject. Let's go. The two entered Senai town together, came to the elf hospital to treat the elves' injuries, and then the two had a delicious meal in the restaurant. On the way back to the elf hospital, Liu saw a jewelry store selling ruby rings that could be bought for a few hundred yuan, almost the same price as cabbage, so Liu directly bought the largest one. If I can change hands when I return to Earth, Liu thought happily in his heart. After returning to the hotel, the two exchanged many battle experiences again. In fact, it was Teenan who was always talking. Liu had only fought a few times in total, so how could he have any experience? Doesn't it count in the game? Back in the room, lying on the soft and comfortable big bed, Liu moaned comfortably. Haha. I can finally go back. System, how do you calculate the time after I go back? Liu asked with some concern. In fact, Liu was worried that when he came back next time, a long time would have passed here. That would be funny, because Liu was worried that Teenan would not be able to find him, which would be bad. Beep. The time is based on the host's space, with a ratio of 5:1. In the future, it will increase as the host's authority level increases. What? That means I spent 5 days on Earth after I left, and only 1 day here. Well. Very good and powerful. I'm very satisfied. System, I choose to return now. Finally able to go home, Liu was afraid that he would cry while struggling to hold back his excitement. After experiencing ups and downs, Liu finally knew the warmth of home. Although it was only 1 day in the magical world, Liu felt as if a century had passed. Liu missed his relatives in reality very much, especially after despair and pain. He realized the preciousness of family affection. As soon as the voice fell, Liu felt an invisible force acting on him in a trance. Then, Liu felt that the scene in front of him kept flashing, which made Liu's eyes dry, and he quickly closed his eyes. Calculating the time in his mind, Liu opened his eyes again after more than 10 seconds, but found himself lying on the floor of the dormitory. At this time, it was still dark outside the window, with only a few stars flashing. Is the sky deliberately striking me? The stars are out, and it was pouring rain just now. Liu speculated maliciously in his heart. Standing up, Liu moved his body. Looking at the space backpack beside him, Liu had an unreal feeling. But when Liu released 3 more elves, feeling their dependence on him, Liu's heart was filled with infinite pride. With them, my future will definitely be wonderful, Liu said with anticipation. Tomorrow I will sell the gem ring I bought out of boredom. I don't believe that a gem ring the size of a pigeon egg can't be sold at a good price. Well, then I will buy a house. After all, my secret cannot be easily exposed. With a sweet and joyful smile, Liu gradually fell asleep with the expectation of the future. At 8 o'clock the next morning, Liu stretched himself, washed up hastily, and left the school directly. He took a car to the luxurious commercial street. As one of the 4 major cities in China, Langjiang City is as prosperous as you can imagine, and this luxurious commercial street is the most prosperous place in Langjiang City, and its luxury is unimaginable. The commercial street is mainly divided into several areas, including clothing, jewelry, and antiques. Modern high-rise buildings and antique buildings are perfectly integrated. It is said that it was designed by a famous architect with great effort. Liu also thinks that this design is really good. In fact, he didn't see anything. Dafu Jewelry, although the name is earthy, is a nationally famous jewelry chain store. Liu believes that his ruby ring can definitely be sold here for a good price. Sure enough, after Liu showed the gem that could instantly conquer the eyes of women, he was invited into the VIP room. Mr. Li, please have some tea. I have sent someone to invite our chief appraiser, Mr. Zhao. Zhang Yang, the manager of the jewelry store, said respectfully to Liu. It's not Zhang Yang's fault. A pigeon egg-sized ruby is rare, not to mention such a beautifully crafted product. I believe that, once the transaction is successful, his reputation at the headquarters will definitely be upgraded. It's okay. In fact, Liu was also very depressed. He just wanted to sell a ring, but he didn't expect to make such a big fuss. After waiting for a while, a middle-aged man dressed in elegant ancient costumes hurried in, but he didn't pay any attention to the two of them, but rushed directly to the ruby ring on the table. Manager Zhang smiled apologetically at Liu, and Liu didn't care. This proved that his gem was precious. Why not? Old Zhao took the professional tools and looked at it carefully for a long time, his face full of excitement. After the appraisal, Old Zhao said to Liu, I wonder which famous artist this is from. Chicken blood red, exquisite workmanship, can be called a master level. This. Liu didn't know who made it, but just saw a bargain at the time, so he bought one to buy some money to spend. Who knows who carved it? Oh, I'm so abrupt. I wonder how you plan to deal with it? After seeing Liu's expression, Mr. Zhao knew that he had said something he shouldn't have said, and quickly changed the subject. I'm short of money recently, so I plan to sell it. I wonder the price. Liu asked directly. When he came here, Liu also used the system's network intelligence brain to check the information in this regard. As a result, the system estimated the price to be at least 30 million, based on the information obtained through the network. Liu was so excited that he was excited for a long time. Well, I wonder if there are relevant documents for this? At this time, Manager Zhang interrupted. Well, there are none. Liu said helplessly. It doesn't matter if there are none. We can handle it. If there are no documents, the price will be discounted. But don't worry today, we will definitely not have any discounts. Manager Zhang's words made Liu feel comfortable and showed his sincerity. For this business, Manager Zhang also gave enough discounts. It doesn't matter. How about the details? Liu also understood what he meant. It was originally a sale for money. He was thinking about himself and saved Liu the trouble. 25 million, how about it? Manager Zhang said to Liu, after discussing with Mr. Zhao for a while. This. Liu frowned slightly because the price was much lower than what he expected, and he was a little unhappy. After all, even the system's intelligent brain estimated it to be at least 30 million. Seeing that Li Yu's expression was a little dissatisfied, Manager Zhang was afraid that Li Yu would turn around and leave, so he hurriedly continued, "Mr. Li, I wonder what the price is in your mind? How about this? 35 million, a fixed price. I will sell it, if you are willing to accept it." No one would dislike too much money, so Li Yu also quoted a higher price. "Anyway, if it doesn't work, we can discuss it again." "Okay. Let's trade it at 35 million. Do you want to transfer or check?" After thinking for a while, Manager Zhang saw that Mr. Zhao also nodded and agreed. "Or just transfer it directly to my bank card. My card number is 1998 inches." Unexpectedly, the other party actually agreed. Li Yu was very happy in his heart, but his face was calm. "Well, okay, Mr. Li, the money has been transferred to your card. You can take a look." After preparing the contract and seeing Li Yu sign his name, Manager Zhang directly transferred the money to Li Yu. "Well, thank you, Manager Zhang. Since the transaction is over, I will leave first." Seeing the transfer information on his mobile phone, Li Yu finally breathed a sigh of relief. However, because he had to go and see if there was a suitable house later, he stood up and said goodbye. "Wait a minute, Mr. Li, this is our jewelry store's gold level VIP card, which can enjoy a 10% discount. In addition, I hope that next time you have the same gemstone, you can first consider our Dafu jewelry." Manager Zhang handed over a beautifully designed gold card and said, "Thank you, I will." After receiving the gold card, Li Yu exchanged a few more polite words with it, and finally walked out of the Dafu jewelry store. Chapter 7 Brothers Gathering. Li Yu originally wanted to send some money back to his family after making money, but he remembered his father's words, "I would rather starve to death than do something wrong." Li Yu didn't dare to do it, because he had no excuse. If he couldn't send the money back openly, then Li Yu could only give up this idea temporarily. "Well, I will graduate in more than half a year, and then I can send the money back openly." Although he couldn't send the money back home for the time being, he had to spend the money when he had it, and Li Yu couldn't treat himself badly. So Li Yu went directly to buy a latest Denon 40th generation laptop and mobile phone. Although the price was a bit outrageous, the performance was good, and it was many times faster than Li Yu's Denon 38th generation. After leaving the commercial street, Li Yu took a car to the nearest real estate agency. Under the reception of a sales lady named Wang Jing, Li Yu chose an independent villa. Although the price was not low, Li Yu fell in love with it at first sight after seeing it. The decoration style of this villa is simple but very fashionable, not artificial, plus it has its own swimming pool and beautiful courtyard. Li Yu feels that living here is absolutely comfortable, and it is only half an hour's drive from the school. When Li Yu decided to pay the full amount, Wang Jing was shocked. This was 15 million, not 1,500 yuan, just spent like that. In 2050, it is increasingly difficult to make money. First of all, most jobs are replaced by robots. Coupled with the population growth, it is even more difficult to make money. At first, Wang Jing thought that Li Yu was just looking at it and satisfying his eyes, but he bought it directly. In excitement, Wang Jing was very attentive to Li Yu. He was young and rich. What a good son-in-law. Unfortunately, Li Yu was not interested in her. After signing the contract, he drove away in the gifted Crazy Dancer sports car, which made Wang Jing very sad. Li Yu was still very satisfied with the gifted sports car. Although flying cars are popular in this era, sports cars are outdated, but it is no different from picking up for free. If Li Yu wants money, he can just go to the magical world to buy a few gems. After having lunch at a random restaurant, Li Yu drove back to school to pack up. Actually, there was nothing to pack up. Li Yu basically planned to throw away everything. In his words, "I finally made some money, so I'll be corrupt." He bought a few more sets of clothes and other daily necessities on the way, and finally returned to his big villa. After a simple packing, Li Yu felt that it was time to find a nanny, otherwise, it would be exhausting for Li Yu to clean up such a big house by himself. In the afternoon, because Li Yu had to go back to school for classes, he drove to school. After playing with a few elves for a while, As soon as he arrived at school, Liu met his best friend in the same dormitory. Wow. Our Xiaoyu has made a fortune. He even drove a car. Gao Feng, the boss of Liu's dormitory, was the first to criticize. Gao Feng was a mighty and majestic man from Dongshan. It is said that he has practiced external boxing for several years. Xiaoyu is capable. Unlike you, you are so poor that you don't even buy clothes for others. Gao Feng's girlfriend Xiaoyu took the opportunity to blackmail. Xiaoyu is a bit like a virtuous wife and mother in the Jiangnan water town. Very beautiful and gentle. No way, wife, you have so many in your closet. Okay, I'll buy some in a while. Seeing Xiaoyu's murderous look, Gao Feng shrank his head. Ha ha ha. Boss, you're still laughing at me. You asked for it. Liu also took the opportunity to fight back. TSK, we call this love, right? Wife. Gao Feng said shamelessly. Humph. Xiaoyu completely ignored Gao Feng's shamelessness. The three of them just came to the classroom together, and they heard the third brother Sun Bufan and the fourth brother Linji waving at the three of them. The third brother, the best friend, has a mysterious origin, and seems to be a descendant of a noble family, while the fourth brother is a gigolo. His father is a businessman, and he can be considered a rich second generation. Several people sat together in the corner of the back row of the classroom. The eldest brother Gao Feng said to the two of them, "You don't know. Xiaoyu has made a fortune and even drives a Kuangwu." "What? Really?" the third and fourth brothers exclaimed in unison. They knew Liu's background very well. He was born in a commoner family and his family was definitely not rich. It was not that they looked down on Liu, but they were worried that Liu would go astray, because although this Kuangwu was not a luxury car, it was at least $1 million. "What's the matter? Second brother, you can't fall?" the third brother Sun Bufan asked. "Don't listen to the nonsense of the eldest brother. I just made a small amount of money by gambling on stones recently, which is far less than you." Liu could only find an excuse to explain. After all, the origin of this ruby ring was not easy to explain. "Oh. Second brother is lucky. When will you help me? I'm a little short of money recently," the fourth brother Linji said with a smile. "TSK, what are you talking about, fourth brother? If you don't mess with girls, you won't have enough money?" the eldest brother Gao Feng said ruthlessly with a tone of envy. Among the four brothers of Liu, Linji is the most handsome. In addition, his family is in business, so changing girlfriends is like changing clothes. He also said that he can't waste this face. "What? You want it too?" Xiaoyu twisted Gao Feng's waist with a dark face and said angrily. "Oh, my wife, I was wrong. How dare I?" the eldest brother Gao Feng complained. "Humph ha ha ha." Liu and others laughed at the eldest brother's frustrated look. "Second brother, how much money did you make? We have to fight the local tyrants tonight." The third brother Sun Bufan pretended to be serious. "That's right, I must make you bleed a lot tonight," the fourth brother Linji also said. Liu thought about it, stretched out two fingers and shook them. $2 million? The third brother exclaimed. "I think it's more than 2 million. After all, that car alone costs more than 1 million. The eldest brother shook his head. "What? That's 20 million. The third and fourth brothers took a breath at the same time, their eyes full of envy. Although their families were well off, they didn't have that much pocket money. "Yes, it's 20 million. Liu nodded. "Second brother, did you step on dog shit? You are so lucky. You became rich overnight and almost caught up with my old man struggle for more than 10 years. The fourth brother Linji looked at Liu's indifferent expression and rolled his eyes. "That's what I mean. Second brother, if you don't treat us today, he can't even think about going out," the third brother Sun Bufan said. Okay, is Xiaoyu that kind of person? Don't tease him. This is also Xiaoyu's blessing. But Xiaoyu, this gambling on stones is too risky. As the saying goes, one cut makes you poor, one cut makes you rich. Don't go there again in the future, understand? The eldest sister-in-law Xiaoyu said worriedly. "Well, don't worry, sister-in-law, I won't do it again in the future, but this treat is necessary, so where shall we go tonight? A food stall?" Liu knew that Xiaoyu really cared about him and was very touched. Don't listen to them, just go to a food stall. It's delicious and not expensive. The eldest brother Gao Feng made the decision. It's a food stall. You can still eat so much that you vomit blood. The fourth brother was still angry. Okay, stop being envious. You can't envy it. The third brother Sun Bufan hit. You are the same. The fourth brother Lin Ji retorted. Who said that? I'm actually quite rich. I just don't like to show off. The third brother Sun Bufan said, and took out a sports car key. Ah. It's unfair. I'm the poorest. Oh my god. Let a thunder strike these bastards to death. The fourth brother looked up to the sky and howled. Shut up. You want to die, like calling souls. Be honest for a while. The third brother Sun Bufan patted the fourth brother Lin Ji on the head and taught him a lesson. The fourth brother Lin Ji looked at the third brother Sun Bufan with resentment, which gave him goosebumps. Seeing this, everyone burst into laughter again. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8, A Hero Saves a Beauty? The university courses are actually quite useful, but for Liu and his group, it is boring and boring. After finishing 2 classes, they separated temporarily. The eldest couple said they were going to buy clothes, and the fourth went to pick up a girl. It is said that his closest girl is from the music department. Hey, Liu said that another girl is going to suffer. The third Sun Bufan followed Liu and said that he would take Liu for a car ride, but Liu would not follow him to make trouble. Instead, he took Sun Bufan directly back to the villa, which caused Sun Bufan to criticize again. Sit casually. There is no need to entertain people at home. Don't mind, Liu said while sitting on the sofa. Second brother, not bad. You know how to enjoy yourself. This cost a lot of money, right? Sun Bufan said. Not much, 15 million. Liu said. Then your money is almost gone. Is it enough for decoration? Sun Bufan asked. That's it. It's good. No decoration. Liu does not have too many requirements for life, so the current layout is already very good in his opinion. Yeah, it's really good. The two chatted for a while, and seeing that it was almost time, they drove to the food stall they had agreed on. Zhaoji food stall is right next to the school. Every day, many students come here to drink and chat. In the past, Liu and his friends were also frequent customers here. Xiaoyu, here. As soon as they got off the car, Liu and his friends caused quite a stir. It was nothing to drive a sports car to a food stall, but Sun Bufan's sports car was a bit pretentious. It was more than 1 level higher than Liu's Kuangwu, at least more than 10 million level. Liu sighed that the third brother Sun Bufan was the real local tyrant. Ignoring the eyes of others, Liu and his friends walked directly to the table and sat down. After waiting for a while, the eldest brother Gao Feng and his wife also arrived, but the fourth brother Lin Ji was still nowhere to be seen. They ordered a few more boxes of beer, some side dishes and the like. Liu asked Gao Feng, is the fourth brother not here yet? Yes, he said he was going to have a romantic time, who knows what he is doing. The eldest brother Gao Feng said speechlessly. HMPH, look at others, then look at you. You don't even know how to take me to see a movie or something. The eldest sister-in-law complained. Wife, I was wrong. We'll go in a while, and I'll take you to a romantic place today. The eldest brother Gao Feng said hurriedly. In fact, the eldest sister-in-law Xiaoyu was not disliking Gao Feng, especially after hearing Gao Feng's words. The smile on her face was very obvious, and it seemed that she was no longer surprised by the eldest brother's thick skin. After more than half an hour, the fourth brother and his wife arrived late. After the fourth brother and his wife sat down, the eldest brother Gao Feng teased obscenely, "Fourth brother, why are you here now? It can't be." Unfortunately, before the eldest brother Gao Feng finished speaking, a scream came out of his mouth. It was so miserable. Looking at Xiaoyu's dark face, the eldest brother Gao Feng quickly surrendered and admitted his mistake. Everyone, I want to tell you a serious problem. The third brother Sun Bufan ignored the intimate behavior of the eldest brother Gao Feng in public, and suddenly said seriously, except for Li Yu. The others looked at him seriously, and only Li Yu knew that this guy was going to be funny again. Second brother bought a house. TSK. Everyone looked down on him. Wait till I finish. Second brother bought a villa worth 15 million. Sun Bufan said. What? Xiaoyu, why did you spend so much money? Sister-in-law Xiaoyu said worriedly. Yes, Xiaoyu, you can't spend money like this, even if you have money. The eldest brother Gao Feng echoed. Second brother, I support you. It's better to hide a beautiful girl in a golden house or something. The fourth brother didn't think there was anything wrong, but encouraged Li Yu. Do you also want to hide a beautiful girl in a golden house? Yang Nan, the fourth brother's wife, said angrily. The fourth brother was speechless. Okay, let's eat and drink happily together. Don't say those useless things. The eldest brother's majesty is inviolable. Several people drank and chatted, and when they were almost drunk, it was already 11 or 12 o'clock. Li Yu and the third brother Sun Bufan drank the least, because they had to drive, so the task of sending people home fell on the two of them. Second brother, I'll take the eldest brother, and you take the fourth brother. I'll go back directly after I'm done. After the third brother Sun Bufan said goodbye to Li Yu, he drove the eldest brother and the other two away. Yang Nan, you help him get in the car, and I'll take you back. Li Yu said to Yang Nan. Thank you, second brother. Yang Nan smiled. The fourth brother's house was not far from the school, and it only took more than 10 minutes to get there. After Li Yu helped Yang Nan to help Lin Jian, he said goodbye and left with Yang Nan's thanks. Although it was already late at night, the real nightlife might have just begun. Li Yu also opened the car window, enjoying the feeling of the breeze on his face, and slowly drove to the villa. Just as Li Yu was enjoying the tranquility of the middle of the night, when he passed a secluded street, he suddenly saw a group of gangsters dragging a girl who looked like a student into the alley. The girl kept struggling for help, but it was a pity that this place was remote and no one could help her. What Li Yu couldn't stand the most was the gangsters, because he was bullied by them a lot in junior high school, and was often blackmailed. If he didn't have money, he would be beaten. Now seeing others in danger, coupled with Li Yu's previous painful experience, he was immediately furious. Without hesitation, Li Yu directly took out Butterfree's Pokeball from the space backpack on the car, got off the car, and walked towards the alley. After releasing Butterfree, Li Yu ordered, Butterfree, go and knock out those people inside with sleeping powder. Don't hurt that woman, understand? Bang bang. After listening to Li Yu's order, Butterfree flew around in response, and then flew directly into the alley. After a while, Li Yu and others could no longer hear the shouting, and walked into the alley to see that, as expected, those gangsters were knocked down by Butterfree. Butterfree was flying over the woman at this time. Li Yu didn't expect Butterfree to knock the woman down directly, but then he thought, maybe this is not bad, let her have a good rest. After all, the experience just now was a painful experience for her. Li Yu picked up the woman gently, and found that, although she was dressed simply, her appearance was not bad at all, with a white face, light eyebrows, a straight nose, light red lips, and beautiful long hair. Smelling the faint fragrance on the woman, coupled with the messy white dress and the slightly half-exposed white cover, Li Yu's heart trembled unconsciously. Such a pitiful woman, no wonder she is wanted by gangsters. Li Yu sighed. After bringing the woman back to the villa, Li Yu carried her to an empty room, carefully put the woman on the bed, and covered her with a quilt. Li Yu returned to his room. He was tired all day, and drank so much wine, he was really sleepy. No words all night. Chapter 9 Love at First Sight. The next day, Li Yu got up early. Seeing that the woman was still sleeping, he went to the kitchen to make breakfast. The reason why he didn't buy breakfast was because Li Yu felt that only breakfast he made himself was healthy. Although Li Yu often bought breakfast in the past, he didn't have the money. Now that he has money, he should live according to his own heart. But just when Li Yu was halfway through breakfast, a scream that resounded through the sky almost scared Li Yu to death. Li Yu hurried to the woman's room and saw her hugging the quilt tightly, tears flowing down without money, which made Li Yu feel inexplicably painful. Seeing Li Yu suddenly come in, the woman was obviously also startled, but then she looked straight at Li Yu, her eyes full of anger, grievance, and helplessness. Hey, beautiful woman, don't misunderstand. If it weren't for me, you would be miserable. Is this how you treat your savior? Seeing the woman's expression, Li Yu knew that she had misunderstood him and hurriedly explained. What? It's you. Hearing Li Yu's words, the woman was stunned at first. Then she remembered that there were a group of people last night and she didn't feel any discomfort. She immediately realized that she had misunderstood Li Yu and her face turned red all the way to her neck. Yes, sorry, I thought. The woman's voice became smaller and smaller. If Li Yu hadn't been concentrating, he wouldn't have heard anything. It's okay, I understand. After all, anyone would be panicked when encountering such a thing. Then you wash up first, and I'll go prepare breakfast. Li Yu smiled slightly and said to the woman, well, thank you. Seeing Li Yu's smile, the girl's pretty face turned even redder, but she still raised her head and looked into Li Yu's eyes gratefully. It's okay. Ahem. It was the first time that Li Yu looked into the eyes of a girl, and he was a little embarrassed. He said something and turned around and left quickly. Looking at Li Yu's back as he left, the woman felt a little disappointed, but more of it was gratitude and joy. After preparing breakfast, Li Yu had just put it on the table when the woman walked out. It was the same white dress as yesterday, but the woman seemed to have just washed her hair. A faint fragrance wafted into her nose, and her long wet hair draped over her shoulders, which made Li Yu a little fascinated. Seeing Li Yu's expression, the woman's pretty face, which had just calmed down, suddenly turned red again. Seeing this, Li Yu knew that his gaze would be misunderstood and quickly collected his mind. Come to eat. Thank you. My name is Shilinfi. If it weren't for you last night, Thinking of what happened yesterday, Shilinfi's eyes were filled with tears again. Li Yu hurriedly took out a tissue and gently wiped away the tears on Shilinfi's face, but suddenly felt that something was wrong and hurriedly stepped back, but it was too late. Shilinfi's pretty face became even redder, and Li Yu swallowed his saliva. Puff. Seeing Li Yu's embarrassing look, Shilinfi suddenly laughed, and Li Yu suddenly felt as warm as spring. Let's eat. Li Yu hurriedly changed the subject. Hey, don't you know how to introduce yourself? I've already told you my name. Shilinfi wanted to know who saved her, but she felt that it was too direct, so her voice got lower and lower. Oh, my name is Li Yu. Li Yu felt that in front of this woman, her previous ability to talk about anything was instantly ineffective. By the way, why were you still outside so late yesterday? It was so dangerous. What if? Li Yu asked. I was actually just going back to school. Shilinfi seemed to have remembered something sad, and her face was full of pain and grievance. Don't cry anymore, otherwise it will seem like I'm bullying you. If you don't mind, just tell me. Maybe I can help you. Li Yu's words were full of determination. I was actually returning to school from the hospital. My mother is very ill, and I have to take care of her every day until I can go back to school at night. That's why. Feeling Li Yu's concern, Shilinfi felt that Li Yu could not help much, but still wanted to confide in Li Yu. After listening to her words, Li Yu understood. But as soon as he said the next words, Li Yu wanted to slap himself. What about your father? He passed away, died in a car accident. That's why mom fell ill because of this. Woo woo woo. Thinking of the unfortunate experience of her family, Shilinfi was extremely sad. I'm sorry, it's all my fault for being too talkative. Li Yu was about to explain, but was suddenly interrupted by Shilinfi. It's okay, it's all over, it's not your fault. Hey, Fifi, I don't know what disease your aunt has. Is there anything I can help you with? Li Yu suddenly remembered that he was a man with a system. As long as he took out the treatment potion, there was no disease that he couldn't cure. Moreover, with the powerful technology of the magical world as a backing, Li Yu didn't believe that there was no disease he couldn't cure. The doctor said it was due to exhaustion and missing her. Mom must be missing dad. Shilinfi said sadly. Fifi, if you believe me, I can cure your aunt. Are you willing? Li Yu stared at Shilinfi and said seriously. Really? Shilinfi looked at Li Yu's serious expression. Although she believed it in her heart, she still asked. If you want, I can definitely help you. Li Yu said firmly. Li Yu had already asked the system in his mind just now. This healing potion is also useful for humans, and the effect is amazing. The healing potion restores life, the magic potion restores mental strength, and the burn potion treats burns. With this amazing potion, Liu felt that he could become a charlatan, no, a miracle doctor. Well, I believe you, but why do you? Although Shilin Fei didn't know why she trusted Liu so much, she was more curious about why Liu was so kind to her, a stranger. But as she spoke, she seemed to think of something, and her face turned red again. Liu didn't explain, but went around the room. When he came out, he had a bottle of potion and a fruit knife in his hand. In fact, this was all for Shilin Fei to see. Shilin Fei looked at Liu curiously, but who knew that Liu directly cut his arm with a dagger, and blood gushed out instantly. Ah, Liu. Shilin Fei quickly ran to Liu's side, hugged Liu's arm, and was so anxious that she almost cried. It's okay. Look. Liu endured the pain, and poured the medicine in his hand on his arm. Then, the bloody arm recovered at a speed visible to the naked eye. What? How is this possible? Shilin Fei exclaimed, as if she saw a ghost. This is just one of the effects of the medicine. It is also very effective in treating other diseases, and I have other medicines. Are you relieved now? Liu looked at Shilin Fei's surprised expression, and felt very satisfied. Thank you, Liu. Shilin Fei saw that Liu cut a knife on his body to prove himself, and his heart was full of sweetness, but also a little lonely. Liu saw the loneliness in her eyes, and knew what she was worried about, so he held her hand and comforted her. I'm sincere, Fifi, I want to pursue you. Are you willing? I'm willing, but you have to start as a trainee boyfriend first. Shilin Fei listened to Liu's sincere confession and said shyly, that's great. Fifi, I will take good care of you and your aunt in the future. I will never let you down. Believe me. Liu stretched out his hand to hug Shilin Fei and said seriously, yes, I believe it. Chapter 10 Meeting the Parents. Before the main text, I have a good news for you. As long as you vote for a recommendation every day, you can receive the red envelope prepared by Coke for everyone. Although it is not much, it is also for fun. I hope you don't mind. Liu looked at Shilin Fei affectionately after she finished her breakfast, which made Shilin Fei shy. She rolled her eyes at Liu angrily and suddenly became charming. After dinner, Liu took Shilin Fei out of the villa and went to the hospital in order to cure her mother as soon as possible. Shilin Fei has been working hard in the past few months, but there is not much effect. Now with Liu's help, Shilin Fei can't wait to rush to the hospital immediately. 20 minutes later, Langjiang People's Hospital. Fei, you are here. Who is this? Seeing that her daughter came to visit her and brought a boy, the teacher's wife asked, although she understood a little. Shilin Fei's mother is named Wang Yu. At the first sight of her, Liu felt that she was really worthy of Shilin Fei's mother. She was as gentle as jade and a good wife and mother, a flatterer. But at this time her face was as pale as paper, and there was a trace of unconcealed sadness in her eyes. Mom, he is. Shilin Fei was so shy that she couldn't speak. Aunt, I'm Fifi's boyfriend. My name is Liu. Liu said respectfully. Oh, hello. I don't know when you started. What does your family do? Who else is there in your family? Regarding her daughter's happiness, the master's wife must strictly control it. She only has Shilin Fei as her daughter, and her lifelong event is more important to her than anything else. We have been together for a while. My family is ordinary civilians, and I have a younger sister. Aunt, I really like Fifi's gentle and kind character. I hope you can agree that we can be together. Liu pleaded. Hey, Liu, you can see that our family has become like this now, and it has implicated you. I hope you will not let Fifi down. Hey, now the Shi family is not like a family, and the master's wife is also worried that the situation of her family will drag others down. Mom, Liu is not that kind of person. Shilin Fei said hurriedly. Don't worry, auntie, I will definitely take good care of Fifi, and won't let her suffer. Liu held Shilin Fei's hand and promised. Well, I believe you can do what you say. The reason why the master's wife said so was because she saw sincerity in Liu's eyes. Mom, I brought Liu here today to treat your illness. Shilin Fei said. Treatment? Li Yu, I appreciate your kindness, but my illness. The master's wife knew that she was not sick at all, so how could she talk about treatment? If Shi Linfei hadn't insisted on letting her stay in the hospital, she wouldn't have stayed here. Don't worry, auntie, what I brought you is what I asked for from a master of traditional Chinese medicine. It is very useful, just try it, Li Yu explained. Yes, mom, just try it. Shi Linfei also looked at the master's wife with concern and eagerness. Okay. The master's wife didn't want to make her daughter sad, and Li Yu was kind after all, so she couldn't let him down. Aunt, you should drink the blue one first, which is used to restore your mental strength, and then drink the red one, which is used to restore your body, Li Yu explained patiently. Well, you took the trouble, Li Yu. Regardless of the result, the master's wife still thanked him. It's okay, this is what I should do, Li Yu said. Li Yu watched the master's wife drink the potion and her face immediately turned red. He couldn't help but sigh at the power of the potion. He secretly decided not to show it to others easily in the future, otherwise it would be dangerous. After all, wealth should not be exposed. Well, after drinking the potion, the master's wife felt like she was sitting by the stove. A warm current flowed through her body, and even her sluggish spirit gradually recovered. Mom, how do you feel? Shi Linfei asked hurriedly when she saw her mother showing a strange expression. I feel very good, just like bathing in the sun, and my body is much more relaxed, the master's wife said with a smile. That's great, mom. Seeing the long-lost bright smile on her mother's face, Shi Linfei excitedly stepped forward and hugged the master's wife. Fei Fei, I'm sorry, I've worked so hard for you these days. It's all my fault. Perhaps the medicine inspired the spirit of the master's wife, or it could be the joy of her daughter finding a partner. In short, the master's wife has come out of the haze and has hope for life. Mom, what are you talking about? This is what I should do, and you are my mother, said Shi Linfei. Aunt, why don't you let the doctor check again? If you are healthy, then we can leave the hospital. It's not good to stay in the hospital all the time, Li Yu suggested to the master's wife at this time. Well, I don't want to stay in the hospital either. Just do as you say. The worry was gone, and the master's wife also wanted to leave here. After all, lying in bed every day, she became sick, even if she was not sick. With the consent of the master's wife, Li Yu found a doctor and conducted a comprehensive examination of the master's wife. The results showed that she was very healthy, and even some of her original minor ailments had disappeared. The doctor was amazed again and again. After all, the master's wife was still bedridden a few days ago. After making up an excuse to evade the doctor's questioning, Li Yu took the two of them out of the hospital. Seeing that Li Yu came by car, the master's wife in the car asked Li Yu about his family background again. Li Yu, what's your car? The master's wife didn't believe that a working family would spend millions to buy a car. They couldn't afford it. Mom, this is all earned by Li Yu himself. He didn't spend any money from the family. Hearing the master's wife's question, Shi Linfei knew what her mother was worried about and hurriedly explained for Li Yu. Oh, Xiaoyu candy business? You should be a student now, right? The master's wife asked curiously. I don't know how to do business, but I have some experience in antiques and jade, so I made a lot of money, Li Yu explained. Xiaoyu, antiques and jade are not something you can just talk about. The risk is not low. The master's wife also knows something about the antique market and knows clearly how high the risk is in this industry. Yes, that's true. I can only gain something under the guidance of the teacher, Li Yu said. Li Yu had no risk at all. He could make a lot of money just by reselling gems. However, in order not to worry his master's wife, Li Yu pulled out a teacher. With a famous teacher teaching carefully, even if you can't become famous in this industry, it's not difficult to gain something. The master's wife agreed. Aunt, it's getting late now. I'll take you and Fei Fei to dinner, Li Yu suggested. Thank you, Xiao. The master's wife didn't want to disappoint Li Yu's kindness, so she agreed. Li Yu, where are we going to eat? Shi Linfei was very curious, because Li Yu drove further and further away, and he didn't reach the place, even after leaving the city. Oh, I heard from my classmates last time that there is a Shanshu home here, which is quite good. Liu said. Sure enough, after following the navigation to Shanshu home, Liu couldn't help but sigh at the owner's wonderful ideas. The green pond and green bamboo. There is no high-rise building, only bamboo buildings standing in a forest, which complements the surrounding natural beauty and is beautiful. The three of them had a meal for nearly 2 hours. After the meal, Liu sent Master's wife home. Then Liu said goodbye to Master's wife and took Shilin Fui to school. Shilin Fui studied painting and also studied at Lanjiang University. When Master was still alive, he was very supportive, but since Master's wife fell ill, Shilin Fui rarely went to class and usually took care of Master's wife. Shilin Fui had a class today, so Liu accompanied her to finish it. Although Liu knew nothing about painting, he could still help. The class passed quickly. After class, Liu took Shilin Fui shopping and bought a lot of things. When Liu bought a jade necklace for Shilin Fui, he accidentally discovered a secret and was immediately surprised. But with Shilin Fui by his side, Liu had no chance to verify it. Liu took Shilin Fui to buy a lot of things and some vegetables before returning to Shilin Fui's home. After dinner at Shilin Fui's house, Liu and her were sick for a while and then hurried back to the villa. Chapter 11 Traveling through again. In the villa, Liu took out the jade jewelry he bought, suppressed his excitement, and took out the elf egg from the space backpack. At the prompt of the system, Liu began to hatch the elf egg. Ding, energy is found. Confirm absorption. Absorbing. Absorption completed. Current energy 1/110th million. Damn, so little. Liu was speechless. A necklace only has 100 energy points, which is 30,000 yuan. If you want to save up 10 million points, it will cost at least hundreds of millions of yuan. Even if the quality of this jade is not high, it will cost a lot of money. It seems that I have to go to the gambling stone street when I have time, Liu decided. After Liu let the elf egg absorb the other two jade jewelry, it only became 300 points. There is still a long way to go. After putting away the elf egg, Li returned to the room, sent a good night message to Shilin Fui, and gradually fell asleep. There was no conversation all night. The next morning, Liu just woke up and heard the system prompt sound saying that the space transmission cooldown was over. Seeing that he could go to the magical world again, Liu first sent a message to Shilin Fui saying that he had to go to do something and might not be back for a day or two. Shilin Fui did not doubt it and asked Liu to be careful on the road. As for the brothers, it was simple. After all, they all had their own things to do, and it was common to not see each other for a few days. As long as the feelings were still there, it would be fine. After solving the worries, Liu directly chose space transmission. A dizzy feeling came over him. Liu learned to be smart this time and closed his eyes instantly. 10 seconds later, Liu came to the familiar hotel room again. At this time, the sky in the magical continent was just getting light. After walking out of the room, Liu came to the restaurant, ate some breakfast, and sat for a while. Tinan also came to the restaurant. Seeing Tinan, Liu greeted him. Morning, Tinan. Liu said. Liu, good morning. Why did you get up so early today? Tinan said embarrassedly. I'm used to it. Oh, by the way, where are you going today? Liu asked. Today, I've been challenging passing trainers in Merino Town recently. I prefer this kind of battle training method. Tinan replied after thinking for a while. Yeah, this is also a good way to exercise, but unfortunately I can't accompany you. I have to travel to other places. Sorry. Liu had his own plans and had to say this to Tinan. It's okay, Liu, we will meet again. If we are destined to, you have to work hard. I will definitely beat you next time. Oh, by the way, the rookie competition in Kanto will be held in 5 months. Although we are not strong enough to participate, there will be some small competitions in private at that time, and we still have the opportunity to hone ourselves. So I will also go to nearby cities to participate in those private competitions. Don't look at me. I lost to you yesterday, but I still have a killer move that I haven't used yet. I will definitely beat you next time. I wonder if you are interested? Tinan thought of the upcoming competition and said to Liu passionately. There aren't many opportunities like this. I will definitely go when the time comes. It's settled. I will also improve next time. It's not certain who will win or lose. Hearing Tinan's words, Liu suddenly remembered the information he had read in the book before. It turns out that the Kanto region holds a Kanto rookie competition every year to test the adventure results of newcomers. However, there are restrictions on participating. First of all, you must collect more than 5 badges and obtain the certificate of a senior trainer, and the adventure time cannot exceed 5 years. Because 5 years is a watershed, if you don't break through to a senior trainer within 5 years, then your qualifications will be the same. And even if you break through to a senior trainer, it is impossible to get a good ranking, because every trainer who enters the top 100 of the rookie competition is at least an elite trainer, or even a mentor level trainer. The Kanto rookie competition first requires passing the championship road. On the way, there will be official personnel from the league blocking the player's progress. Only by defeating them can you continue to move forward. After passing the test of the champion road, you need to climb the champion mountain. In the process of climbing the champion mountain, you need to choose one of the 3 tests: the underground maze, the rapids, and the aerial purgatory. After passing it, you can reach the top of the champion mountain. The top 64 players who finally reach the top of the champion mountain will be ranked through real mutual battles to compete for the final championship. The difficulty can be seen from the scale of the competition. It can be said to be a gold rush in the Sand Sea. The elimination rate is as high as 99%. Ordinary civilian trainers have almost no chance to enter the finals. However, for Liu, all this is too far away, because if he wants to participate in the competition, he has to train Charmander and others to level 40 within 5 months, and even so, whether he can pass the first level test is still unknown. However, no matter how low the probability is, Liu is full of confidence in himself, because he is a man with a system, born to create all kinds of impossibilities. Full of confidence, Liu walked out of Kingmu town with high spirits, and continued his journey across Kingmu forest to Lanling city. In addition to constantly improving his strength, Liu felt that his goal should not only be to conquer elves and upgrade system permissions, but more importantly, he should live a wonderful life. Otherwise, he would definitely be able to soar in strength if he just stayed in the training hall and kept fighting with others. However, only by constantly taking risks and experiencing more things can one temper his will, rather than just being a madman who only knows how to fight. In addition, Liu's trip to the forest this time, in addition to adventure, has another purpose, which is to conquer 10 elves and upgrade the permission level so that Liu can share the ability of the elves once. Although Liu can practice now, how can it be more convenient to practice by himself than to directly share the ability of the elves? Moreover, Liu is extremely envious of the magical abilities of the elves. Without saying much, Liu is walking in the lonely forest at this time. As for whether he will be bored and lonely, haha, looking at Liu shaking his head while walking, he doesn't look lonely. This guy's wearing big headphones, listening to music, and making strange noises from time to time. That's called a hi. This is exactly the Xianlan 40th generation mobile phone that Liu bought. Unfortunately, the joy was too great, and this guy was directly knocked away by a khaki figure that suddenly appeared. Liu was so painful that he wanted to curse. But just as Liu stood up, rubbed his stomach, and was about to curse, he suddenly laughed foolishly. Oh, not bad. Cassie, it's really easy to get it. What you want will come true. Excitedly Liu directly released Butterfree and asked it to release sleeping powder immediately. Liu had long wanted to have a Cassie, because Cassie had no skills, but he had practiced teleportation to perfection, and this was exactly what Liu wanted. Bang! Butterfree did not disappoint Liu. The sleeping powder released instantly acted directly on Cassie, and Cassie fainted on the ground gorgeously. Beep, the battle is over. Butterfree has gained 100 experience points, currently at level 11, 46%. Cassie has gained 50 experience points, currently at level 12, 45%. Hard work pays off. After Liu, who had won the first battle, used potions to restore Cassie, he shamelessly let Cassie take him to experience the feeling of teleportation. But what was the result? It really verified a famous saying, if you don't commit suicide, you won't die. Teleportation is not something that everyone can experience. The price Liu paid was that he vomited all over the place and almost died heroically. After painfully taking Cassie back, Liu collapsed on the ground and rested for a long time before he recovered. Damn it, I almost died. Next time. No, there will never be a next time. After trying a journey that was even more painful than system teleportation, Liu, who was still frightened, immediately cursed. Name, Cassie attributes, psychic qualification, diamond level, black iron level 12, 45% abilities, talented skills, wonderful space, create a mysterious space to imprison the opponent. Already enabled, position exchange, use incredible power to exchange the positions of both parties. Enabled at level 25, variety fist, throw a mysterious punch with the power of ice, fire, and electricity. Enabled at level 40, learning skills, instantaneous teleportation, the patron of space, with the strange ability of teleportation. Telekinesis, use telekinesis to attack the enemy. There is a chance to confuse the opponent. Illusion attack, use telekinesis to materialize and attack the opponent. However, when seeing Cassie's attributes, Liu couldn't stop laughing. This attribute is really good. Needless to say, the innate teleportation, telekinesis attack is also good, especially this illusion attack. Liu likes it more. It is well known that Cassie was not favored at all in the early stage because it did not have an attack skill and teleportation was useless. But the Cassie that Liu had captured was different. It had inherited the powerful attack skill of Phantom Attack, which could be used for both attack and support. Liu did not need to train it slowly until it evolved, before he could entrust it with important tasks. I smiled triumphantly. The easily satisfied Liu hummed a little tune and swayed towards the distance. Chapter 12. Cathy Magikarp. At noon, beside a big lake. Nice scenery. Let's take a rest here today. When Liu passed by this lake, he suddenly decided to take a rest here. Of course, it was not because Liu felt tired, but because Liu wanted to try to catch a Magikarp here. Liu really wanted a Gyarados. He took out the fishing rod, put on the special fish food, and threw out the hook. All in one go. Liu admired why he looked so handsome while fishing. Bah, shameless. 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour later. Fuck, bullshit. I didn't even see a shadow of a fish in half an hour. It's a rip-off. Liu, who was furious, threw the fishing rod to the ground and ignored it. Instead, he turned his grief and anger into appetite and took out the food and ate it. Hoo-ah-ha-ha. Liu, who was eating the food angrily, suddenly heard a sound of water. He turned his head and saw that the dog was gone. He didn't catch any fish, and even the fishing rod was pulled into the water. Cathy, go and pull it up for me. If a tiger doesn't show its might, you think I'm Hello Kitty. Liu released Cathy and ordered. Cathy, who received the order, did not hesitate and teleported directly to the center of the lake. At this moment, the fishing rod was being pulled by an unknown creature and swimming around. Cathy grabbed the fishing rod with both hands and teleported again to Liu, holding the fishing rod tightly in his hands. Behind him, a fiery red creature was jumping and fluttering. I'll let you be awesome, Cathy. Phantom attack. Buzz bang. A spiritual ray shot directly at the Magikarp, instantly crippling it, and it fainted after 2 flutters. Liu didn't want to subdue it originally, who made him so angry. But after seeing its attributes, Liu threw the Pokeball directly. Beep. The battle is over. Cassie gets 100 experience points, currently at level 12, 47%. Magikarp gets 50 experience points, currently at level 11, 30%. Name, Magikarp attribute, water, hidden attribute, flying, qualification, diamond level, iron level, level 11, 30% abilities, talented skills, frozen wind, releases cold air to attack the opponent, reducing the opponent's agility with a chance to freeze the opponent. Already enabled, Dragon Wave, sprays a huge shock wave from the mouth to attack the opponent. Enabled at level 25, Dragon Scale Fury, violently attacks the opponent, and then falls into a state of confusion. Enabled at level 40. Learning skills. Water splash leap. Jumps randomly, seemingly without any attack power. Rampage. Violently attacks the opponent for 2 to 3 rounds and then falls into confusion. What is playing the pig to eat the tiger? This is the Magikarp, which seems to be harmless, but its powerful skills can instantly blind everyone's eyes. It is an absolute pitfall elf, no one else. After taming this Magikarp, Liu now has a total of 5 elves. With 5 more, Liu can level up, which is just around the corner. Liu wanted to tame a few elves directly, but then he rejected it himself. It is better to have less than less. If Liu just tamed those elves with poor qualifications for his own selfish desires and let them stay in the corner of his backpack for life, this Liu could not do it. Hey, who made me kind-hearted? Liu thought shamelessly. For Liu's shamelessness, use your votes to kill him. Because this trip was fruitful, Liu no longer forced more and went to find elves on purpose, but headed directly to Lanling City quickly, hoping to arrive before the evening. Unfortunately, Liu was still walking too slowly. When the sun set and night fell, Liu still did not see the shadow of the city. It seems that we have to camp in the wild again today. There is no chance to camp in the wild on Earth, but now it is possible. In fact, Liu refused in his heart, because if he was harassed by the elves in the middle of the night, then Liu would be in trouble. For the sake of inner security, Liu directly released all 5 elves. Let's sleep together to enhance our relationship. Liu thought so. The next day, Liu woke up early, not because of diligence, but because he couldn't sleep. Look, with 2 dark circles under his eyes, Liu yawned after washing up. It's a pain. Otherwise, I'll go back to the real world to rest for a day before coming back. But then Liu rejected this idea. If he fished for 3 days and dried the net for 2 days, when would he be able to upgrade? People must have ambition. Liu encouraged himself. After having breakfast with the 5 elves, Liu took them back into the elf bowl and headed towards Lanling City at full speed, with high morale. In fact, Liu's subconscious thought was, big bed, delicious food, here I come. Hey, a rude boy is incorrigible. He has no ambitions. How can he be tempted by a big bed and delicious food? At least there should be another girl or something. Maybe it was because his luck ran out. After that, Liu never met a satisfactory elf, but other than that, he still gained a lot. After all the big and small battles along the way, Charmander's experience has reached level 9, 85%, and it is about to break through the rank. The same is true for Scyther, reaching level 9, 80%. Because the other elves are already Black Iron level, Liu did not upgrade them. If Liu hadn't wanted to arrive in Lanling City earlier, he really wanted to practice leveling here, at least let a few elves evolve once. But Liu knew that upgrading too quickly was not a good thing, so he decided to go to Lanling City to rest first, and then slowly upgrade in a planned way. The most important thing for elves is not only the level, but also the quality and combat awareness, which require Liu to train them constantly to cultivate. This time, Liu decided to take them to the training hall for training, but before that, Liu had another more important thing to do, that is, making money. Yes, he had no money. Liu had already spent all the 10,000 yuan of funds for newcomers. If he had no money, Liu would not be able to go to the training hall at all. After all, it was not free. Fortunately, Liu had found a good way to make money, that is, wrestling. First, he bought cheap gems from the magical world and sold them on Earth, and then bought jade with energy to the magical world. But there is still one most important problem, that is, the utilization rate of energy. Although 2 thumb-sized jades contain 100 points of energy, Liu has not tested the conversion ratio of experience. But this is easy. Let the elves absorb it, and you will know. But before that, Liu must first go to Lanling City. With a good trip, Liu finally arrived in Lanling City at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Big cities are indeed not comparable to small towns. Tall steel buildings and technological facilities that surpass the earth are all making Liu sigh. Liu asked for a random room and hurriedly took out the only 2 jades. These were the only 2 he had left. If the experiment was not satisfactory, then Liu would have to go to Earth to find higher quality jades. Chapter 13 Lanling City. Charmander. As Li Yu's first elf, Li Yu has an unusual love for it. When Li Yu took out the jade, Charmander's eyes stared at the jade in Li Yu's hand. Seeing this, Li Yu had some expectations in his heart. It seemed that the effect of this jade would not be too bad. Charmander, here you go. Li Yu didn't know how to let the elf absorb it, so he simply gave it to Charmander and let it operate freely. Sure enough, after Charmander took the jade, he threw it directly into his mouth, and then Li Yu heard the system's prompt sound beep. Charmander absorbed the energy stone and gained 100 experience points. The current level is 90% raw. Charmander ordered Li Yu with satisfaction. Feeling Charmander's excitement, Li Yu encouraged him. Don't worry, Charmander, I will make you eat until you vomit in the future. Putting away Charmander, Li Yu took the last jade and walked towards the department store. Although this jade can only increase 100 experience points, it is still very helpful for those low-level elves. Arriving at the department store, Li Yu had to admire the magic of the magical world. This building with more than 100 floors was built just to sell something. Even various spaceships and flying cars were available for sale. It was too luxurious. It was understood that Li Yu knew that this department store was an industry under the name of the Dowd family in the Kanto region. Although the Dowd family had no members in the alliance, its economic strength alone was comparable to that of the members' families. Moreover, since its establishment, the Dowd family has developed rapidly. In its heyday, the Dowd Chamber of Commerce even had branches throughout the continent, which was very financially strong. Moreover, no one dared to seize his huge wealth. It was said that it was because there was a more powerful family behind him. But how exactly? Only those who stood at the top of the continent could know. Li Yu came to the 9th floor auxiliary props mall through the flying ladder. A dazzling array of goods were rolling on the display screen in the hall. Hundreds of square meters of space were fully utilized, and rows of goods were placed like a supermarket. Unfortunately, they were not for sale, but for display, that is, to pretend. If you want to buy, you can only go through the staff sitting at the service desk next to you. Of course, there are also people responsible for purchasing, who specialize in purchasing various things that the adventurous trainers accidentally find. Hello, is there anything I can help you with? A beautiful girl smiled at me. I want to sell this. Li Yu put the jade stone on the table. Oh. The girl was obviously stunned, but she returned to normal in an instant. She conjured a mobile phone-like machine out of thin air and scanned it at the jade stone, and then she heard, ordinary energy stone, contains 100 points of energy, evaluation. 100,000 yuan. The value of this energy stone is different according to the amount of energy it contains and the purity of the energy. Although Li Yu's jade stone has less energy, it is already very good. Because energy stones are strategic resources, no one will sell even the lowest level ones. As for higher level energy stones, it is even more impossible to appear in the public eye. According to our inspection, your energy stone is worth 100,000 yuan. Do you confirm the transaction? The beauty looked at Li Yu and asked. Oh, sure. Li Yu was stunned for a long time, then he responded quickly. Okay, sir. Can you tell me your gold card number? The girl said. 158. This gold card is bound to the Pokémon. Every trainer will receive it before departure, except for the children of the family, who have a high level gold card. By the way, do you sell this machine? Li Yu pointed at the instrument in the girl's hand and asked. Li Yu thought this thing was too good. You can see the energy of jade with a scan. If you take it to Earth, it will be too convenient to find jade. Especially gambling on jade. Yes, Li Yu has decided to try his luck in gambling on Jade Street. Now if he has this jade finding artifact. For sale, sir, but this low level treasure hunting instrument costs 99,999 yuan. Are you sure you want it? The girl asked with a strange expression. What? Li Yu wanted to curse directly. 99,999, and it's still low level. If it's high level, it will make people go bankrupt. Li Yu didn't expect that the money she just got would be squandered immediately. No wonder she looked so strange. Forget it, I want one. But will the power run out? Is there a charger or something? Li Yu asked. If it runs out of power after a few days, Li Yu will be Spartan and must ask clearly. Don't worry, sir. This energy meter can directly absorb solar energy, and it can be used for about half a year after absorbing it for one day. The beauty explained patiently. Oh. Thank you, I want it. After swiping the 100,000 yuan she just got, Liu bought some food for the elves, and finally had no choice but to walk out of the department store. You can only gain if you give up. Liu comforted herself. It must be said that there are really a lot of good things in this department store, but it's a pity that Liu has no money, so he can only look at it. Liu decided that when he has money in the future, he must buy two, use one, and throw one away. Back in the hotel room, Liu boredly checked the latest news on the computer. Not bad. Liu found a lot of useful information, and suddenly a piece of news caught Liu's attention. It turned out that recently on the Diamond Coast, which is connected to the Endless Sea, there were two powerful Pokémon fighting. The power was so strong that it caused great losses to the nearby cities. According to the blurred figure in the photo, Liu was sure that it must be Mewtwo and another Pokémon, but it was a little blurry, and the other elf looked very strange, so he couldn't recognize it clearly. Only Mewtwo. Liu recognized it at a glance. I didn't expect that there would really be Mewtwo here. It seems that the animation on Earth is not useless. If that's the case, it seems that I have to go to the new island. If I can capture Mewtwo, well, I'll go next time I come back from Earth. So I've decided. Because after Liu searched on the internet, he actually found a small island called New Island, and it was on the Diamond Coast. However, the Alliance claimed that it was an accident-prone area and people often disappeared, so they warned people not to go there. But Liu was not worried about these, because he had the ability to teleport. At that time, just wait until the transmission cooldown is over before going. Even if there is danger, just go back to Earth and come back when you are strong enough. Liu doesn't believe that anyone can stop him. As for whether he can subdue Mewtwo, Liu said that he didn't hold out any hope at all. He just wanted to take a look. After all, the other party's strength is there. Who can do it? However, because Liu has no money, he can only wait until he returns to Earth to purchase a large amount of jade and then sell it in the magical world to earn money to buy a yacht. He will set off after he is fully prepared. Hey, let's go back to Earth first. If you don't have money, you can't use the training hall. It's a good time to get some more jade. After quickly returning to the hotel and having a meal with the elves, after all, elves also need to eat, then Liu directly chose to return. Chapter 14. Gambling on Stones. Liu returned to the villa in an instant. He picked up the alarm clock on the table and saw that it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was still early. Hey, Fifi. Yes, I'm back. Let's go shopping later. I have some things to buy. Yes, see you later. After making an appointment with Shilinfei, Liu drove to Shilinfei's house. At this time, Shilinfei was standing downstairs in the community early, wearing a blow-long skirt and long hair. When she saw Liu coming, her unpainted face slightly curled up. Fifi, have you been waiting for a long time? Liu got out of the car and hugged Shilinfei. No, let's go. Liu, don't you want to buy something? Although the relationship with Liu has been confirmed, Shilinfei's pretty face still blushed when she saw Liu making such an intimate move. Gambling Stone Street. Liu, you want to gamble on stones? This? Shilinfei exclaimed. Don't worry, Fifi, there won't be any problem. If you are worried, then I will gamble once. If I lose, I will leave. How about that? Liu gently held Shilinfei's hand and said softly, okay then. Shilinfei nodded. Janai Fang, the Gambling Stone Street, ranks in the top 3. It is said that it has the support of the local family Zhang family, and the probability of extracting jade is not low, so the number of people who come here every day can almost break the door. Liu, how should I look at this jade? Seeing the people coming and going here, it was very lively. Shilinfei also became curious. As a good girl, she had never seen such an interesting thing. Well, gambling on jade is actually very complicated and requires a lot of knowledge, so I won't say much today. If you want to play, just choose one yourself, and then I will help you take a look. Liu said tactfully. In fact, Liu didn't understand gambling on jade at all, but wanted to rely on the energy meter. Unfortunately, Liu couldn't say these, so he could only find an excuse to divert Shilin for his attention. Well, thank you. Shilin Fui smiled. Fool, what are you talking about? Do we need to talk about this? Liu said with a straight face. Taking out the energy meter, Liu put on a special miniature headset, which was specially purchased to avoid attracting attention, and the energy meter is very simple to operate. As long as it is within a radius of 10 meters, Liu can scan at will, and then get detailed information from the headset. Liu didn't know where to go first, so he walked in from the low-level area according to the order. The stones in the low-level area are all below 100,000, suitable for the petty bourgeoisie. Picking up a fist-sized stone, Liu secretly scanned it and found that there was no energy at all, but then he remembered that gambling on stones is not that easy, so he was relieved. Liu, how is it? Shilin Fui saw Liu pick up the stone and look at it for a long time and couldn't help asking. Shaking his head, Liu changed several stones and scanned them, but unfortunately there was no energy. Yes, it is normal to have bad luck in gambling on stones and not encounter any, plus this low level area is not profitable at all, it is just to attract people. It seems that it is too difficult to find jade in the low level area. Let's try again. If it doesn't work, we can go to the high level area. Liu thought to himself. But after scanning for a long time, he didn't find any jade, or it was just a few dozen energy points. It was too uneconomical and not worth investing. In the end, Liu gave up scanning one by one and directly chose range scanning. As long as there was jade within a range of 10 meters, the energy meter would issue a reminder. Now Liu's efficiency was much faster. Although there was no high energy jade, some with 1 or 2 energy points were still found, but the price was too expensive. Liu felt it was not worth it and might as well buy finished products. However, hard work pays off. After Liu's tireless search, he finally found a satisfactory stone. This is a basketball-sized stone, but it seems that, because of its poor appearance, it is only priced at 200,000, but it contains 1,000 energy points. This is just cheap for Liu. After paying, Liu came to the stone cutting area under the guidance of the staff. Sure enough, it was even more popular here, with shouts coming one after another, and the excitement was even better than the raw stone area. Looking at the faces of those people, those who won were full of joy, those who lost were dejected, and so on. Apart from the performance of others, when Liu began to cut the stone, many people also gathered around. Of course, most of them were just joining in the fun, and some were attracted by the beauty of Shilin Fui beside Liu. With the efforts of the stone cutter, a fist-sized jade slowly revealed its true appearance, causing everyone to shout loudly. Oh my god, it's a hibiscus species. How can such an old pit stone produce jade? It's so lucky. It's green and full of vitality. Little brother, I'll give you 2 million. Sell it to me. How about it? A fat middle-aged uncle holding a briefcase asked Liu. 2 million. You are still embarrassed. I'll give you 3.5 million. Another middle-aged boss in a suit and leather shoes suddenly spoke sarcastically, obviously wanting to take Liu's jade into his pocket. TSK, you are the same young man. I offer 5 million. If you have the guts, you can add more. The fat middle-aged man snorted at the man in the suit and counterattacked. Okay, I'll sell it to you. Liu saw that no one was raising the price, so he said to the fat middle-aged man, good luck, young man. My name is Wang Linchen, and I'm a buyer of beautiful jewelry. The middle-aged man said, and stretched out his hand to Liu. Liu also stretched out his hand and shook it with him and said, my name is Liu. In fact, I'm just lucky, it's nothing. After receiving the transfer, Liu and Wang Linchen chatted for a few more words, and then continued to stroll with Shilin Fui. The gambling stones in this low-level area are basically not profitable. The best one is Liu's stone. After that, Liu successively solved several pieces of jade and made a total of about 8 million. It seems not much, but it also caused quite a stir. After all, Liu is not very old, but his vision is so sharp and unique. especially Shi Linfei, seeing Li Yu making 8 million in a short time like robbing money. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, Shi Linfei would definitely think it was a joke. Let's go. Fifi, let's go to the high-end area to have a look. Li Yu went through the low-end areas and pocketed all the money he could make. He was going to the high-end area to make a big ticket. Li Yu, let's go. What if? Shi Linfei was still very worried about Li Yu. After seeing the scene of heaven and hell with one knife here, Shi Linfei was afraid that Li Yu would lose everything if he was not careful. It's okay, Fifi, don't you still believe me? Li Yu said. Okay, but it can only be the last time, otherwise I will ignore you. Shi Linfei was still worried. Thank you, Fifi, the last time, and then we'll go. Li Yu felt that he could have such a beautiful woman, and his heart was infinitely moved, and his eyes were full of love. Yeah. Seeing Li Yu staring at him naked, that look made Shi Linfei shy. Arriving at the advanced area, the atmosphere was even more heated. After all, a few million was not a small number. If you were not careful, you would lose everything and go bankrupt. Without watching other people's gambling stones too much, Li Yu directly held Shi Linfei's hand and slowly scanned the gambling stones. Sure enough, the quality of this advanced area was higher. After a while, Li Yu found several jade stones containing dozens of energy points, but compared with its selling price, it was not worth it. Li Yu could only search patiently. Beep. It contains 5200 energy points, 3 meters to the left front. Hearing the prompt of the instrument, Li Yu was ecstatic. 5200 points, what a concept. Just now, the jade with 1000 energy points was worth 5 million, so this piece would be at least 20 million. Looking at this gambling stone that was only the size of a wash basin, the price was as high as 2 million, but Li Yu bought it without hesitation. But Li Yu did not go to dissect the stone immediately, but prepared to look for it again. After a while, Li Yu found another gambling stone with a price tag of 3.5 million, which contained 6500 energy points. Li Yu bought it directly and went to the stone cutting area, handing the gambling stone with 5200 energy points to a relatively kind old master. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15. Earn 30 million in seconds. As he slowly cut the stone, a piece of jade as transparent as water appeared in front of everyone. Instantly, the scene became hot and everyone started to bid. But Li Yu was unmoved. After all the stones were cut, Li Yu curled his lips and looked at those people with shining eyes. 10 million. 15 million. 35 million. After a round of bidding, Li Yu finally sold it to a buyer from Dafu Jewelry for 35 million. Then, in the envious eyes of everyone, Li Yu accepted the check and the business card of the jeweler. This Dafu Jewelry is not comparable to the Chum Jewelry just now. Although the name is vulgar, this Dafu Jewelry is a jewelry group with a national reputation. After the transaction was completed, Li Yu gave the master a thank you fee of 100,000 yuan. Li Yu left the high-end area with his thanks. After that, Li Yu went to other stores to buy a few gambling stones with hundreds of energy points. He didn't cut them out, but asked for a hand-pulled box and took them away directly. Li Yu took Shi Linfei back to the villa. First took a few precious jades to the room, and then put them in the space backpack. These were all done for Shi Linfei to see. After all, some things were not the time to tell her. Then Li Yu took Shi Linfei to buy some vegetables. When they arrived at Shi Linfei's house, the master's wife was cooking. Then Li Yu and Shi Linfei drove the master's wife out of the kitchen. But because Li Yu was not very good at cooking, he could only take on all the work of helping. Half an hour later, the meal was finally ready. After the three of them had a leisurely dinner, Li Yu helped Shi Linfei wash the dishes before leaving Shi Linfei's house and returning to the villa. Back at the villa, Li Yu took out the gambling stones that had not been cut and released the flying mantis. Although Li Yu did not have special equipment for stone splitting, Li Yu had the elf. As the controller of power, the flying mantis was really easy to split the stone. Sure enough, after Liu made the request, the flying mantis did not hesitate at all and directly opened the double blades and started cutting. The broken stones fluttered in the air and then fell to the ground. Under the control of Scyther, the stone slowly revealed green. Thank you, Scyther. Liu thanked. Krither. Liu released the remaining elves and prepared some elf food bought in the magic continent for them. Then he went to see the jade that had just been cut. First, the jade with 5200 energy points was blood red and very breathtaking. The jade with 6500 energy points was like a Chinese cabbage, with lush green on the top and white as ice on the bottom. There were also several other jades with more than 10 energy points, which also satisfied Liu. Without playing with them too much, Liu put them away directly. Although the jade was beautiful, for Liu, their value of interest was higher than their value of beauty. Liu played games with several elves for a while to cultivate feelings, and then went to bed. The next day, Liu got up early. Perhaps because he was used to getting up early, Liu was in good spirits. Just when Liu was exercising for a while and preparing to make breakfast, Shilinfei suddenly came to Liu's villa and brought Liu a delicious breakfast. Seeing Shilinfei getting up early and making breakfast for herself, Liu was very touched. After all, it feels good to be cared for and taken care of by others. Liu, can you help me choose a gift today? My mother is going to have a birthday. After dinner, Shilinfei suddenly said, oh, Aunt is going to have a birthday, then do you know what she likes? Otherwise, I can't choose it. Liu said, well, my mother likes to play ancient music, the kind played with the guzheng. Because of illness, my mother also quit her job. Now I don't want her to work hard anymore, so I want to find something for her to do, so that she can stay at home with peace of mind. Liu, you won't blame me, right? Because seeing that Liu was so profitable, Shilinfei felt that she was dragging Liu down, so when she asked this question, she was very uneasy. What nonsense are you talking about? You are my baby. I will support you, no matter what you do. After we graduate, I will bring my parents over and we will live together so that your mother can have a companion. As for buying a gift for your mother, why don't we go to the antique street to have a look? There should be better ones there. The modern craftsmanship does not play the rhythm of the ancient times. Feeling the uneasiness in Shilinfei's heart, Liu hugged her in his arms and comforted her softly. Well, thank you, Liu. Shilinfei murmured with tears in her eyes. Silly. Liu smiled and gently combed Shilinfei's long hair. After dinner, the two drove to the antique street. After Liu parked the car, the two went shopping in the antique street. This antique street is also very prosperous. Although technology is very advanced nowadays, people have always been eager to pursue ancient culture. In fact, it is just showing off and pretending. As the ancient capital of the dynasty, Langjiang has a long history and predictable cultural heritage. Therefore, the antique market in Langjiang is very prosperous. Here, you can get rich by picking up bargains, but you may also get poor by looking at them. Everything depends on your own eyesight. And Liu is a person without eyesight. After all, he knows nothing about antiques. But the reason why Liu promised Shilinfei solemnly is that he has decided to buy a gift that Shilinfei is satisfied with, even if he spends a little more money. Liu and the other person walked around the street for a long time, but in the end they didn't get anything at all. They were completely in the dark and didn't understand anything. Just as the two of them were helplessly turning around, a wretched young man came over and said to Liu, "Boss, my name is Zhang San. I see you have been looking for a long time. I don't know what you want. Maybe we have it here." "Oh, interesting. You know how to solicit customers in this business?" Liu couldn't help but tease when he heard the wretched young man's words. Hearing Liu's words, Shilinfei laughed directly. "Well, for a living." The wretched young man's face froze when he heard this, and he said embarrassedly, "Well, do you have a guzheng? I want an authentic ancient product, not a modern craft. As for the price, you can name it, and I will never let you down." Liu felt that it would be better to find an expert than to try his luck like this. Just as the wretched young man took the initiative to find him, he asked, "Boss, don't worry, we have the most treasures in the treasure pavilion. Otherwise, you can come with me to have a look." the wretched young man suggested. Okay. After Liu finished speaking, he took Shilin for his hand and followed the wretched young man into an antique shop with an antique flavor. This antique shop was the treasure pavilion that the young man mentioned. Liu saw that the treasure pavilion was actually, as Zhang said, very elegant and noble. It was an ancient attic 4 or 5 stories high, with green tiles, red bricks, and glazed beads. Entering it was like traveling back to ancient times. Inside the store, there were not many antiques in the hall, but there were many waiters dressed in cheongsams lined up neatly. As soon as there are guests, a beautiful waitress will come forward to greet them. After knowing what you want, she will take you to the place upstairs that specializes in selling antiques. Just when Liu was about to follow Zhang upstairs, a system prompt suddenly came. Ding, a fusionable item was found. The specific location is unknown. Please check it yourself. Direction, 5 meters to the left front. Hearing the system prompt, Liu was suddenly a little excited because the system was turned on after the system fused the energy device last time. And if it is fused again this time, it may open new functions. After all, the current system functions are indeed not many. Liu thinks that the system definitely has more capabilities waiting for Liu to explore. Wait. Thinking of this, Liu directly stopped Zhang who was about to go upstairs. What's wrong? Mr. Li? Zhang turned his head and asked Liu in confusion. Take a look at this first. Liu did not explain anything, but walked directly to the antique. When he walked to the antique, Liu really saw the appearance of the antique. I saw a dark, pitch black book-like object lying quietly on the counter. Chapter 16 Surprises. However, it is more accurate to say that it is a brick than a book, because the handwriting on the ancient artifact is not only unclear, but also twisted and crooked, very strange and ugly. Most importantly, the book seems to be a hole and cannot be opened at all. Oh, sir, you have a good eye. This is the Warring States period. Zhang saw that Liu was in a trance and he didn't care about anything else and was ready to brag about it. Wait a minute, don't say so much nonsense that you don't believe yourself. I just want to ask how much. Liu saw at a glance that Zhang was fooling him. Even the system didn't know what this thing was, and Liu didn't believe that he could know. This. Well, if you want it, I will sell it to you at a low price of 2 million. Zhang pretended to be generous and embarrassed. Oh, in that case, I won't embarrass you. I don't want it. This guy actually cheated himself and wanted 2 million for an unknown item. Even if Liu knew that this was a treasure, he didn't want to suffer this loss. No, Mr. Li, if you really want it, it's 1.5 million. Hey, 1 million. How much do you want? Zhang thought he could make a fortune, but Liu played such a trick, so he quickly grabbed Liu. But after a series of price cuts, Liu didn't look back and went straight upstairs and immediately said anxiously, 500,000, one price. Liu felt that, although this treasure could be bought back at a lower price, Liu didn't want his treasure to lose value too much. Anyway, money is something he can earn, as long as he wants it, so he called a price that he thought was satisfactory. Well, okay. 500,000 is 500,000. Zhang heard Liu's firm tone, fearing that Liu would not agree, but still said with a painful expression. But in fact, Zhang was very happy. The antiques on this floor were all strange and no one could recognize them, or some cheap antiques, just to deceive those who didn't know the business, and sell them one by one. The real good stuff is basically displayed upstairs. Now that he has sold a worthless thing for 500,000, it will be more helpful for his plan. Well, let's trade. Liu didn't want to say anything more to this idiot, so he said directly, okay. Zhang diligently helped Liu take out the antique, put it in a box, and waited for Liu to swipe the card, and handed it to Liu with a flattering smile. By the way, Zhang-san, what position do you hold in the treasure pavilion? Liu asked in confusion, after taking the ancient book. Zhang looked like a gangster, but he could decide the sale of the antique, which was a bit strange and curious. Hey, what position can I have? I'm just an ordinary employee. Zhang looked around and said, oh, that's it. Seeing that Zhang Sun didn't want to say more, it was obviously related to his privacy, Li Yu simply stopped asking. Okay, that's it. The deal is done, then we'll leave first. The deal was done. Li Yu was anxious to go back to check the mysterious item, so he said goodbye and left. Okay, Mr. Li, come again next time. Zhang Sun shouted at Li Yu at the door of the treasure pavilion. Li Yu staggered and almost fell down. This guy really thought he was a pimp. Li Yu cursed in his heart that he was an idiot and quickly pulled Shi Linfei away. Damn, it was too embarrassing. In the car, the two people who left the antique street were rushing to the villa. Fei Fei, let's go back first and come back in the afternoon, Li Yu said to Shi Linfei. Li Yu really couldn't find any good excuses, so he just said it directly. Well, you don't have to worry. It's not too late to buy gifts in the afternoon. My mother's birthday is still a few days away. I just want to prepare in advance. There's no rush. It just so happens that I still have a class. You can just take me to school. Knowing that Li Yu bought something he liked and wanted to go back to study it, Shi Linfei was also considerate and said, okay. Li Yu was wondering how to avoid Shi Linfei. After all, the fusion of this item was really too noisy. I didn't expect Shi Linfei to be so considerate and take the initiative to create conditions for Li Yu. After sending Shi Linfei to school and to the classroom, Li Yu rushed back to the villa at lightning speed. The speed was so fast that he almost drove the sports car into a flying car. On the second floor of the villa, Li Yu's room. System, confirm the fusion. Looking at the mysterious ancient book in front of him, Li Yu said excitedly. Ding, fusion confirmed. Fusion begins. Analyzing. Analyzing completed. Fusion officially completed. 1%, 10%, 50%, 99%, 100%. Fusion successful. Ding, the ELF system is upgraded to an identification system. It can identify the information of any item. Ding, due to the host's unremitting efforts, the system has been improved. Special reward, randomly draw to open a subsystem. Automatically drawing, drawing completed. The task system is opened. Please check it yourself. Another 20,000 points are awarded. Please continue to work hard. Ha ha ha, ha ha. A series of system prompts directly made Li Yu excited and happy. After a long time, Li Yu laughed and read the specific information. After reading it, Li Yu realized that the database of this magical system only contained detailed information about the magical continent, so it could identify the various elves, props, or human information of the magical continent. Now, the mysterious ancient book that the system has integrated turned out to be a super artifact used by a being beyond the level of immortals in legend, called the Immortal God Treasure Mirror, which records various information from the ancient times of immortals, but later it was destroyed, and the spirit of the artifact fell into a deep sleep. However, due to its own characteristics of recording information, it has been collecting various information on the earth and perfecting itself for countless years, but now it has all been taken advantage of by Li Yu. After all, after the integration of the Immortal God Treasure Mirror with the system, the function of the upgraded identification system is so powerful. With it, Li Yu can find powerful creatures on the earth to use for himself, plus the auxiliary system of sharing the ability of the elves. After Li Yu has conquered the divine beasts and elves such as the dragon, and then use the shared ability, then Li Yu will be directly awesome. And the function of identifying people and items is also extremely powerful. With it, Li Yu can get any information he wants, which is not to do whatever he wants. And, most importantly, it also solved the problem that Li Yu currently cannot choose a suitable gift. As for how important it is, think about it. This is a matter of life and death for Li Yu. How can it not be important? Finally, the task system for this reward is turned on. People who have played the game know that killing monsters and tasks are the soul of the game. Li Yu can't kill monsters, but he can still do tasks. Before, Li Yu couldn't receive any tasks. Now that the task system is turned on, Li Yu can get more rewards by doing tasks and become stronger faster. According to the system introduction, the task system is mainly divided into active tasks, tasks that the host actively accepts. The rewards depend on the difficulty of the task, and there will be penalties if the task fails. Passive tasks, mandatory tasks issued by the system, with rich rewards, and no penalties for failure. Even for various requests or tasks that Liu receives in reality, the system will automatically generate system tasks according to the situation. In this way, once Liu completes the task, he can not only receive the rewards issued by the task publisher in reality, but also receive the rewards of the system. Newcomer and new book. The author does not have much experience. I hope that friends who like it can collect it, ask for recommendations, ask for comments, and all kinds of requests. Chapter 17 Fugue Seeking, Imitation. Currently, there are only a few active tasks in the task system, but they are not very simple for EU. Task system active tasks. 1. Upgrade authority, continuous task, and limited time. Each time the system authority is upgraded, you can receive a reward, and the reward will continue to double. Task reward, unknown, not accepted. 2. Conquer the divine pet, continuous task, and limited time. Conquer the elves with mythical qualifications, regardless of type. Each time you conquer a mythical elf, you can receive a reward, and the reward will continue to increase. Task reward, unknown, not accepted. 3. Gym Challenge King, continuous task, and limited time. Each time you successfully challenge a gym, you can receive a reward, and the reward will continue to increase. Task reward, unknown, not accepted. 4. Collect divine beasts, continuous task, and limited time. Collect elves with the blood of divine beasts on the earth. Each time you successfully collect a blood divine beast, you can receive a reward, and the reward will continue to double. Task reward, unknown, not accepted. 5. Improve the system, continuous task, and limited time. Collect fusionable items, and improve the system. Each time you collect a fusionable item, you can receive a reward, and the reward will be doubled. Task reward, unknown, not accepted. 6. Collecting elves, collect 10 elves cumulatively. Task requirements, complete the task within 1 week. Reward 10,000 experience cards. Asterisk 2. 3000 points. Failure penalty, randomly select an elf, and reduce it by 3 levels. 7. Finding elves, find an elf recognized by the system on Earth. Task requirements, complete the task within 3 days. Reward, gold level qualification enhancement card. Asterisk 1. Failure penalty, deduct 5000 points and randomly select an elf, and reduce it by 5 levels. 8. Shilin for his wish, choose a suitable birthday gift for Shilin 3. Task requirements, complete the task within 1 day. Reward, level 10 physical strengthening card. Asterisk 3. Failure penalty, deduct 1000 points. Looking at these tasks, Liu was full of pride. It was too tempting, but the difficulty of this task was also amazing. Fortunately, there was no penalty for these consecutive tasks, so Liu took it directly and waited to complete it slowly in the future. As for the time limited tasks, Liu only accepted task 7, finding the elves, and task 8, Shilin for his wish. Although these 2 tasks are troublesome, Liu can complete them, as long as he works hard, and there is also the assistance of the system. It just takes some time. After reading this information, Liu breathed a sigh of relief, and his heart was surging. Suddenly, Liu had a kind of ambition to have the system in hand. But then Liu was brought back to his original form by a gurgling sound. Looking at the phone, it was already past 1 o'clock. No wonder Liu's stomach was gurgling. Let's go eat first, then take FIFA to buy gifts, and finally go to the pet street. I hope there will be games. Liu drove away from the villa, after planning in his mind. After eating a little meal to fill his stomach, Liu hurried to Shilin for his house. After saying hello to the master's wife, Liu took Shilin Fui to the treasure pavilion in the antique street again. As soon as he entered the treasure pavilion, Liu saw the wretched man Zhang San running over happily, saying flatteringly, "Hey, Mr. Li, welcome, welcome. Okay, Zhang San, stop talking nonsense, and take us to see your Guzheng." Liu got straight to the point. Okay, this way please, Zhang San said, and took Liu to the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor was filled with elegant objects such as zithers, chess, calligraphy and painting. From a distance, a scholar's spirit came over him. Liu took Shilin for his hand, and appraised these gukins while walking. Sure enough, you don't know, until you see them. You will be shocked at first sight. Although these Gookins look long-standing and have a profound artistic conception, but there are not many authentic ones. Most of them are high-quality imitations. Even if they are authentic, Liu is not satisfied. After selecting for a long time, Liu finally found a satisfactory Gookin in the corner. However, although this Gookin has a unique shape and the whole body is like a phoenix about to fly, the body of the Gookin is indeed shabby. Therefore, it is not valued and is placed casually in an inconspicuous corner. Fuchsiekin, imitation. A famous master of refining imitated the legendary Fuchsiekin and made an imitation using countless precious materials, but after countless years, it seems to have lost its former charm. Restoration method. Inject a large amount of energy from the phoenix head to restore it automatically and shine again. Liu, this doesn't seem good. Shi Linfei saw that Liu seemed to value the ancient zither in front of him, but the zither was so shabby. Shi Linfei thought that Liu didn't take her seriously and said a little unhappy, Fei, don't you still believe me? Just watch. Liu smiled and said confidently, okay. Hearing this, Shi Linfei also felt that she didn't trust Liu too much. When has Liu disappointed her? This is it. Just tell me how much it is. Liu asked Zhang San directly. Well, this. How about 1.5 million? Knowing that Liu was not easy to deceive, Zhang San didn't dare to ask for a sky-high price. After all, it is not easy to find a big customer like Liu. For the plan in his mind and to achieve his goal, he cannot let go of any business. Almost, I want it. Liu did not want to bargain anymore, and this price was not an insult to this guitar, so Liu agreed directly. Liu, this is too expensive. Let's change to a cheaper one. Due to the accidental death of Shi Linfei's father and the serious illness of the master's mother in the hospital, the savings of the Shi family were almost exhausted. Now it is good to have tens of thousands of yuan. Therefore, this price of more than 1 million is indeed a bit unaffordable. It's okay, we still need to be polite. You are my girlfriend, how can you compare with outsiders? Liu said with love in his eyes. Humph, who promised to be your girlfriend? You are just temporary for now. Although Shi Linfei said so, from the tears that had already accumulated in her eyes, it can still be seen that she was moved in her heart. Okay, it won't look good if you cry again. Liu stretched out his hand to wipe away the tears in Shi Linfei's eyes and teased in Shi Linfei's ear. HMPH. Seeing Liu making such an ambiguous move in broad daylight, she immediately snorted delicately, showing infinite charm. After choosing the zither, Liu also selected a few music scores to match the Fuchsie zither. Liu planned to give the zither as a gift for Shi Linfei, and he went to choose a picture of Immortal celebrating birthday as his own gift. Although this picture was not as good as Shi Linfei's gift, it was the thought that counted. After choosing the gift, Liu directly swiped his card to pay the bill, and then left the treasure pavilion with Zhang San's attentive service. Thanks to the book friends, Mi Xiangfei for 2 recommendation votes, Xian Xiaodioni for 2 recommendation votes, and Mao Diaoni for 1 recommendation vote. Thank you very much, Coke. As a newcomer with a new book, the author does not have much experience, so he does not have much popularity. I'm really grateful that there are book friends who are willing to read my book and vote for it. In addition, if there are book friends who want to discuss and exchange the plot with the author, they can join our God Level Players group. The group number is 249,794,847. Chapter 18. The Three-Headed Dog of Hell. In the car, Liu said mysteriously to Shi Linfei, Fei, let's go to the pet street first. I want to buy a pet, and then I will let you witness what a miracle is after we get home. Why are we going to the pet street? What other miracles are there? Tell me. Hearing Liu's words, Shi Linfei was extremely curious and asked a lot of questions. Hey, let's talk about it when we get home. Liu answered irrelevantly. Curiosity was not satisfied. Shi Linfei snorted, but did not ask any more questions. Anyway, she would know after she got back. Pet Street is also opened near Lanjiang University. After all, Lanjiang University is located in the center of Lanjiang City, and the Antique Street, Jewelry City, Commercial Street, etc. are also distributed nearby. It is conceivable how huge the flow of people here is. And those girls with overflowing love have almost no resistance to beautiful pets, so the business is naturally good. Fei, I think my aunt is a little lonely living alone, and we have to go to school, and can't always accompany her. Why don't we buy her a pet first? Liu said to the beauty beside him. Well, thank you, Liu. But I have to pay this time. Shi Linfei was very happy that Liu cared so much about her mother, but she had always been the one to pay for so many things. She felt bad because she was willing but unable to afford them. And now the pets she wanted to buy would definitely not be too expensive and she could afford them, so she took the initiative to ask. Okay. Anyway, these pets would not cost much, so Liu satisfied Shi Linfei's wish. The identification function was used continuously, but there was still no pet that could be recognized by the system as a spirit to be conquered. It was not until this moment that Liu understood why the reward for this task was so rich, and the punishment was also very severe. Is this task going to fail? Liu was also a little discouraged. Lanjiang is a well-known developed city in China. If even the pets here do not meet the requirements of the task, then the hope of completing the task is slim. Seeing that it was getting late, Liu decided to go back first and continue tomorrow. After all, the task required the task to be completed within 3 days, and there were still more than 2 days left, so there was no rush. Boss, this dog is so sick, why don't you take it to get treated? An elderly voice asked excitedly. Humph. This is my dog, I want to treat it. What's it to you? If you are kind, just buy it back. The middle-aged man retorted harshly. You. The old man was so angry at the middle-aged boss's words that he couldn't speak. Why is this boss like this? That's right, too heartless. This dog is so sick, but you don't treat it. Hey, what do you know? This dog is worthless at first glance. It's better to die than to treat it. Oh, so that's it. Hearing the people talking around him, the middle-aged boss was obviously upset and shouted loudly, what do you know? If you don't want to buy it, get out of the way, and don't delay my business. Bah. Humph. When the onlookers heard the words of the middle-aged boss, some of them disdained and despised, while others ignored it. People's hearts are like this, they don't care about things that don't concern them, but there are still many kind people. Liu and Shi Linfei were also watching the situation here from afar. Of course, Shi Linfei was watching things, while Liu was watching the dog. That's right, Liu was watching the sick black dog. Haha, it's easy to get it. Liu felt so relieved at this time. I didn't expect to get such a big reward from watching a show. This is a legendary beast. Although it is from the west, aren't western beasts also beasts? Name, no bloodline, Cerberus, awakening failed, attributes, darkness, lightning, fire qualifications, mythology level, ordinary level 5, 0% ability, none introduction, possessing the pure bloodline of the western beast Cerberus, but his weak physique cannot withstand the awakening of his bloodline, and is currently in a dying state. Treatment method. First, you need to use healing potions to recover from the injury, and then you need to strengthen its physique so that its blood can continue to awaken normally, and awakening requires a lot of energy support. Boss, I'll buy this dog. Without any hesitation, Liu took Shi Linfei and walked up to the boss and said, Humph, are you here to laugh at me too? Get lost. The middle-aged boss said to Liu in a bad tone. Do you think others are as cold-blooded as you? Humph. 1000 yuan, I want it. Liu ignored the ugly face of the middle-aged boss, threw down 1000 yuan, and left with the dog. The middle-aged boss not only did not get angry because of Liu's rebuke, but happily picked up the money and counted it, without even looking at the dog. In Liu's villa. Fei, look. Liu said, pointing to the imitation fugueseekin on the table, and the jade was 6500 energy points. Ah, it's so beautiful. This jade? Shi Linfei was shocked when she saw such a beautiful and huge jade. Yes, this is the one we brought back yesterday. Liu nodded. Liu, you are so amazing. But why do you put it together with this zither? Shi Linfei asked puzzledly. You will know when you see it. Liu kept it a secret and did not explain. Instead, he placed the jade on the top of the fugueseekin. The huge jade on the table suddenly glowed green, and a surge of energy gushed out of it, and then instantly poured into the phoenix head of the Fuexican. With the injection of energy, the worn-out Fuexican seemed to be a cactus that met water in the desert, and it underwent amazing changes. The ancient Zither, which was originally a broken phoenix, seemed to be reborn from the ashes, surrounded by red light, and the worn-out appearance continued to disappear, instead showing a sense of vitality, as if a living phoenix was about to spread its wings and fly. The red and green light lasted for a while and finally dissipated. At this time, the Fuexican was indeed brand new, without any sense of being worn out before. Fuexican imitation. This imitation was made by a famous ancient master imitating the legendary Fuexican using countless precious materials. However, the passage of time made it become worn out. Finally, after the energy was re-injected, it restored its former elegance. Ability. The music played with the skin has magical power, which depends on the specific score. Liu, this is too magical. Are you doing magic? Shilin Fei couldn't help but exclaimed when she saw this magical scene, and even her eyes flashed with little stars when she looked at Liu. Haha, is it magical? I'm glad you're happy. Okay, take a look. Are you satisfied with this birthday gift for your aunt now? Liu said with a smile. Well, thank you. You have done so much for me, but I didn't believe you. Thinking of her previous suspicion of Liu, Shilin Fei felt very guilty, and tears filled her eyes. Silly, how could I blame you? I love you so much. Liu gently wiped away Shilin Fei's tears. Upon hearing this, Shilin Fei threw herself into Liu's arms. Tears flowed down again involuntarily, and she was extremely moved and satisfied. Okay, the dog is still waiting for us to save it. If we don't go, it will die. Be careful that it will come back to find you after it dies. With the beauty in his arms and the fragrance in his nose, Liu's heart was throbbing, but he still used a joking tone to ease the atmosphere. Humph, blame it on you. Slowly leaving Liu's arms, Shilin Fei rolled her eyes at Liu and said, Newcomer and new book, the author does not have much experience. I hope friends who like it can collect it. Please recommend, please comment please. Chapter 19 Bloodline Awakening. Ding, Shilin Fei's wish. Mission completed. The reward has been distributed to the storage space. Please check it yourself. At this time, the system's mission completion prompt sound finally came, and Liu finally breathed a sigh of relief. The two walked to the lobby on the first floor. At this time, the dying puppy had been relieved and regained its ability to move, but it had not been completely cured. After all, the ability of life recovery potions is limited. It is impossible to directly bring back the dead and turn bones into flesh, and the awakening blood power has been consuming the vitality of the puppy. Seeing Liu coming downstairs, the dog ran directly to Liu and rubbed its head against Liu's thigh, perhaps to thank Liu for saving its life. This dog. Oh, by the way, Liu, your potion is so powerful, it will be no problem to cure it. Shilin Fei was puzzled at first that the dog was obviously dying, but now it has become lively. But when she thought of Liu's magical potions, she understood the reason. Well, I gave it a bottle of potion, but now it seems to be fully recovered, but it is about to die. Liu nodded in agreement with Shilin Fei's words, but then Liu said slowly in an inexplicable tone. What? No way. Shilin Fei opened her mouth in shock. She really couldn't believe that such a lively puppy was about to die. Yes, it's true. But since it's in my hands, I will definitely not let it die like this. Looking at the puppy's intimate look, and thinking of his powerful blood, Liu's eyes revealed an extremely firm look. Little dog, you now have a powerful force in your body. If you don't release it, you will still face life-threatening danger. But once released, you will embark on a road full of hardships, even more dangerous than now. Are you willing? Stroking the puppy's soft fur with his hand, Liu carefully explained the current situation, wanting to let it decide for itself. Hahaha, Liu, you are so funny. Are you talking to a dog? And what you said is so fantastic. Shilin Fei burst out laughing when she suddenly heard Liu's charlatan-like words. After all, no matter who sees my various scenes, they will find it funny, and even suspect whether the other party is mentally ill. Woof woof woof. But what surprised Shilin Fui was that after the dog heard Li Yu's words, a thoughtful expression appeared in his eyes. Then he looked at Li Yu firmly. "Ah. It actually?" Shilin Fui exclaimed. "In fact, this is not surprising. After all, it is a three-headed dog of hell with the blood of a mythical beast of the ancient fairy period. Its IQ is definitely not lower than that of humans. And the little dog also felt the disappearance of his vitality. Although he acted cute in front of Li Yu, he was just grateful for Li Yu's rescue before he died. Okay, since you agree, you must hold on. Only in this way can you awaken successfully and have powerful strength." Li Yu took out another bottle of full recovery potion and let it drink it, and then confirmed in his mind that he had used 3 level 10 physical enhancement cards on it. Although the effect of using the same level enhancement card continuously weakened, Li Yu did not regret it, because it was worth it. Originally, Li Yu wanted to use these 3 level 10 physical enhancement cards for his parents and Shilin for his mother. But now things are urgent. Li Yu can only use it on the puppy. This is not because Li Yu is unfilial, but because he believes that he can get better things for his relatives. After doing all this, Li Yu just stood by and watched quietly because he had done what he could and everything depended on his own efforts. Sure enough, after drinking the potion and being enhanced by the level 10 physical enhancement card, the dog's body suddenly twitched continuously and trembled all over. This is because the blood power in his body began to boil and awaken again after sensing the existence of energy. Li Yu, what happened to him? Seeing the dog suddenly in such pain, Shilin Fui exclaimed. In order to survive, this is its own choice. Li Yu murmured. Li Yu, what did you say? Shilin Fui asked in confusion, as if she didn't hear Li Yu's words clearly. It's okay, just watch it. Shaking his head, Li Yu said slowly. At this time, the blood power hidden in the dog's body was constantly awakening, and waves of dark and violent breath flowed through its body. And every time those powers passed through the Niwen Palace and Danshan, a part of them would be absorbed, strengthening the dog's soul and physique. Obviously, as long as the dog can absorb all of this energy, its awakening will be considered successful. But wishes are beautiful, and reality is indeed cruel. How can the blood of a divine beast awaken so easily? Although Li Yu helped, the effect on the dog was indeed minimal, and how could the power of a divine beast be measured by common sense? Blood flowed out of the dog's body, instantly permeating the dog's entire body. The situation was very dangerous at this time. If the dog could not awaken before the blood ran out, then there was only one way to go. But looking at the dog's painful howling, and its constantly shaking body, I'm afraid. Li Yu, you should use the potion to save it. Shilin Fui couldn't bear it. Alas, it's useless. Now we can only leave it to fate. If it worked, why wouldn't Li Yu want to help the dog? After all, Li Yu has been coveting the divine beast for a long time, but Li Yu is powerless. The recovery potion can only temporarily relieve his pain. Whether he can successfully awaken in the end depends on himself. Ding, do you want to consume 50,000 points in exchange for the help of the system? Ding, if the points are insufficient, you can borrow them. Pay them back within 1 month, and double them if they exceed 1 month. Confirmed. Confirmed. When I thought that the puppy had no hope of awakening, I suddenly heard the heavenly voice of the system, and Li Yu was ecstatic. Ding, confirm to borrow 30,000 points. System assistance begins. Please pay it back in time. Because Li Yu had received 20,000 points before, Li Yu only needed to borrow 30,000 points. As the system sound ended, an inexplicable energy suddenly poured into the dog's body. After the energy entered the body, the dog immediately whimpered comfortably, and its momentum began to gradually increase, and the amplitude of trembling continued to decrease. Because of the help of the system, the dog's resistance continued to increase, and the pain was not so intense. I don't know how long it took, and finally, ding, the blood of the three-headed dog of hell has awakened successfully, and it is very grateful to you. It wants to recognize you as its master. Do you agree? Li Yu didn't expect that after the dog successfully awakened, it actually wanted to repay itself, not others. Seeing the dog staring at him with his eyes, it was just about to stick out its tongue and wag its tail. How could Li Yu not agree? Moreover, The little dog that successfully awakened had changed its appearance at this time and was no longer an underage puppy. The dog at this time. No, it was a hell three-headed dog that had grown directly to the size of an adult Tibetan Mastiff. Its hair was purple-black, and on its forehead was a patch of purple-red sideburns, which was very strange. Agree. Ding. Finding the elves. Mission completed. The reward has been distributed to the storage space. Please check it yourself. Ding. Collecting divine beasts. The first stage of the mission has been completed. Since the first stage of the mission was completed perfectly, the special reward has been doubled. Reward. 20,000 points, Diamond level qualification upgrade card asterisk 3, Epic level qualification upgrade card asterisk 2, Legend level qualification upgrade card asterisk 1, The reward has been distributed to the storage space. Please check it yourself. Ding. 20,000 points are automatically deducted, and now 10,000 points are owed. Please pay it off in time. Name. Ocean Bloodline. Hell three-headed dog attributes. Darkness Lightning Flame qualification. Mythical level. Silver rank. Level 35. 0%. Abilities. Darkness control. Comprehend the origin of darkness and control death. 10%. Demon Thunder control. Comprehend the origin of thunder and control thunder punishment. 5%. Hell Flame. Understand the origin of Hell Flame and control the flame of hell. 5%. Hell Transformation. Combat state. Can transform into the form of a three-headed hellhound to fight. A new author and a new book. The author does not have much experience. I hope friends who like it can collect it. Please recommend. Please comment. Please do anything. Chapter 20. The spirit of the weapon awakens. Too crazy. Hearing that the system actually rewarded so many items, and the points owed became 10,000, and seeing the dog's powerful attributes that were simply not human, Liu was so excited that he wanted to cry. Ha ha. Taking a deep breath, Liu calmed down. Fei, how is it? Has it become a roaring sky dog? Liu smiled at Shilinfei. Liu. What's wrong with it? Shilinfei's mood at this time was so turbulent. The worldview was overturned. This dog was going to heaven. In fact, it has the blood of a divine beast, but it just awakened, so it became like this. Liu explained. At this time, the dog has become different from before. The purple and black hair all over the body gives people a cold and dark feeling. The purple and flame double-colored pupils are even more weird. No one knows that it is the incarnation of his other two heads. Moreover, the young body has grown directly to the size of an adult Tibetan Mastiff. No one would know that it was still an underage, dying wounded dog an hour ago. What? Divine beast. Awakening? How is it possible? This is too fantastic. Shilinfei asked doubtfully. You saw it with your own eyes. How could it be false? Liu said lightly, stroking the dog's head. Then why do you know all this? Shilinfei asked curiously. Actually I accidentally got the inheritance of the ancient immortals, so I know all this. Isn't it amazing? It's not that Liu didn't want to tell Shilinfei the whole truth, but because he currently doesn't have the strength to deal with all accidents and can't leak too much information. Just why not hide everything and not tell Shilinfei directly? It's because Liu thinks that, since he and Shilinfei have become lovers, they will definitely live together in the future. So sooner or later Shilinfei will discover the magic of Liu. Instead of waiting to tell her, it's better to tell her now, so that Liu won't worry. I see. No wonder you have so many magical methods. Perhaps because of this fantasy, Shilinfei quickly accepted Liu's statement. So easy to believe? Liu asked doubtfully. I didn't read so many novels in vain. I've read too many adventure novels. Shilinfei shrugged her nose proudly. Yes, my Fifi is the best. Well, you've been delayed for so long. If you don't go home, your mother will think I kidnapped you. Liu said helplessly. Oh, it's almost 7 o'clock. It's too late. Liu, let's go. Seeing that it was already past 6 o'clock, Shilinfei was immediately in a hurry and wanted to leave quickly. Don't worry, it's still in time. I've already booked a place. Let's go out to eat today. Liu said confidently. HMPH, then why don't you tell me? Hateful. Shi Linfei rolled her eyes at Li Yu and said angrily. With the beauty beside him, and the newly subdued beast, the three-headed hellhound Xiaoshan. Xiaoshan is the name Li Yu just gave it. Li Yu drove to Shi Linfei's house. When they arrived at Shi Linfei's house, the master's wife was preparing to cook. Seeing this, the two of them directly pulled the master's wife into the car and drove straight to Xianshan Renjian. It was almost 7:30, and the three people and the dog finally sat in the private room of Xianshan Renjian. Li Yu asked the waiter to serve the dishes directly because he had already ordered them on the phone. Li Yu, we can cook our own meals in the future. It's not expensive and economical. I feel embarrassed to let you spend money every day. The master's wife was very satisfied with Li Yu, but she didn't want to bother Li Yu often and let him spend money, so she took the initiative to propose. It's okay, we are all a family, there's no need to be so polite. And as long as you are happy, I will be very satisfied. After looking at Shi Linfei affectionately, Li Yu said to the master's wife seriously, yes, we are a family. From now on, Fifei will rely on you to take care of her. You must treat her well. Hearing the determination in Li Yu's words, the master's wife also looked at Shi Linfei and then said happily, Mom, what are you talking about? Don't you still have you? I don't want him to take care of me. Hearing her mother's words, Shi Linfei was shy and happy and said coquettishly, he. The master's wife didn't say anything, but just smiled at her daughter's happy and sweet look, feeling extremely satisfied. Come, let's eat first. Seeing that the food was served, Li Yu hurriedly invited the two to eat. Well, eat, said the master's wife. At about 8 o'clock in the evening, after having enough food and drink, the three of them rested for a while and left Xianshan Renjian. After Li Yu sent Shi Linfei and the master's wife home, he went back to the villa alone. No, with a divine beast, just one person, and one divine dog. Back to the villa, Li Yu took Xiaoshan back to the Pokeball. As for why it can be taken back to the Pokeball, you have to ask the system. Anyway, it can be taken back to the Pokeball. Just lying on the bed, the system prompt sound rang again. Ding, the spirit of the immortal god treasure book, Zion Ni, awakens. Please check the specific information yourself. Hello, master. I'm the spirit of the immortal god treasure book, Zion Ni, and now I'm one of the system elves, in charge of the system's database. If the master needs any information, you can find me. A palm-sized elf with a refined temperament suddenly appeared in front of Li Yu. Although he did not have any wings, he could fly in the air out of thin air, which was very magical. Haha, hello to you too, Zion Ni, you finally woke up. Although Li Yu has experienced so many things, he is still a little curious about the legendary super artifact spirit. By the way, Zion Ni, can you tell me about the ancient times of immortals? Having read so many immortal cultivation novels, Li Yu also had fantasies about ascending to immortality. Okay, master. In the ancient times of immortals, there were many immortal cultivation sects, and humans all aimed to ascend to immortality. There were also many other races, such as the demon race and the elves. At that time, the earth was full of strong people, unlike today, when it is developing towards the path of science and technology, and humans are very weak. But the master is an exception, because the magical power possessed by the master's system is thousands of times stronger than that of my original master Wunishan. Oh, isn't your master Wunishan an existence beyond the divine level? Why do you have this feeling? Li Yu has always had a strong curiosity about the system, but he can't find out the truth. Now with Zion and I, a knowledgeable spirit, maybe he will gain something. Well, how should I put it? Although my master is a being stronger than the god level, but compared to the recovery power of the system that I felt when I was sleeping, it is like the difference between a firefly and the bright moon. It is a power that I have never seen before. Okay, since you don't know, forget it. Well, it's getting late, you go back first, I'll find you when I'm free. Li Yu said disappointedly without any gains. Wait a minute, master, I have one last and most important thing to say. Zion and I said hurriedly. Oh, what is it? Li Yu asked in confusion. Thanks to the book friends, Mi Xiangfei, Bing Feng Xiren, each of whom gave 2 recommendation votes for support. Newcomer and new book, the author does not have much experience. I hope friends who like it can collect it. Please recommend. Please comment. Please ask for anything. Chapter 21 Super Artifact. Mysterious Man in Black. Well, actually, when my original master Wunishin created me, he also created my two brothers. Chaos Zumi, Shiani, and Martial God Cauldron, Woonie. But later on, the master met a group of mysterious people who controlled the power of darkness and were almost powerful enough to crush my original master. And the master yearned for freedom and would rather die than surrender. In the end, his self-detonation only injured one of us, and the three of us were destroyed in that war and rifted to various parts of the earth. But since I was restored by the system, I have sensed the locations of my two brothers. Their current situations are similar to mine. They are basically severely damaged and in a dormant state. But after I became a system elf, I knew that they could be helpful to the master, and that was the purpose of my coming out. That's great, Ziani. This news is so helpful to me. Thank you so much. After listening to Ziani's narration, although Liu was also very curious about who the extremely powerful Wunishin had met, now that many years have passed, there is no way to explore, so he gave up the idea. But after hearing the news, Liu was so excited that he wanted to find the other two super artifacts right now. If he could also integrate them with the system, he would get a reward. Where are they now? Thinking of the benefits of the system reward, Liu couldn't wait to ask about the whereabouts of the other two super artifacts. According to my perception and the current world map, I found that China and I should be in the deep sea of the East China Sea, with coordinates of 25.46. Wu'en is relatively close to us, more than 1,000 meters underground in Changbei Mountain, but Wu'en's position is very unstable, and he should be in the secret space. Zion and I thought for a while and said, damn, it's not a place that humans can go. Even the secret realm has come out, it can't be the remains of the immortals in the ancient times. According to the novels, it's very dangerous. After hearing Zion and I's words, Liu had the urge to curse. The deep sea, the underground secret realm, how can people go there? It seems that I can only go there after I have powerful elves. Disappointedly, Liu suddenly thought of the powerful elves in the magical continent. As long as he could subdue one, he could go anywhere. Also, during my sleep, the earth experienced the ancient times of immortals, the ancient times, and the last period of the Dharma ending, and then the current technological era. HMM. Liu nodded, signaling Zion and I to continue. So, after countless years, the many secret realms and ruins I recorded may be of great help to you, the master. Although it is possible that these secret realms have been discovered by people, there are always some that have not been explored by people. I wonder if the master needs it? After Zion and I finished speaking, he looked at Liu as if asking, what? There is such a good thing. HMM. However, with my current strength, even with your help, I can't get through the secret realm, so let's wait until I have achieved some strength in the future. After thinking about it, Liu suddenly realized that his strength was too low, so he didn't go to seek death. Okay, if there is nothing else, I will go back first. Zion and I said, well, go back. Liu said listlessly. The treasure mountain is right in front of him, but Liu can't take it. Now that Liu is in this situation, how can he be happy? It seems that there will be another sleepless person tonight. Sure enough, the next morning, Liu had dark circles under his eyes. After all, he kept thinking about those super artifacts and rewards. It would be strange if Liu could fall asleep. In order to get the other two super artifacts as soon as possible, it seems that I have to go to the magical continent to improve my strength. It's just right to try my luck in the new island this time. If I can subdue Mutuo. Liu started yawning in the morning. Liu has been on the earth these days, and the system's ability to shuttle through space has long been cooled down, but Liu is so busy that he ignores this. But before that, Liu still has to deal with things on the earth. Liu plans to stay in the magical continent for 10 days and half a month this time. Otherwise, it will be troublesome to run back and forth, and he can't devote himself to the upgrade. Liu first applied for a job after leaving school so that he could get a diploma and do whatever he wanted outside. Liu's good brothers Gao Feng and Linji had already done this, and only Liu did not apply to live in school to save money. After the approval was completed, Li Yu went to find Shi Linfei again and took her to have a good drink with several brothers. It was also considered meeting the parents. After not seeing each other for a few days, everyone saw that Li Yu not only had money, but also found a girlfriend. They teased Li Yu that he had grown up, which made Li Yu and Shi Linfei blush. At the party, Li Yu told everyone about applying for a job after leaving school, and Li Yu also made up an excuse that he was going to follow his master to participate in an antique auction in another place, and was going to leave for a few days. Everyone also agreed that Li Yu should go out more. After all, Li Yu could not rely on his family like them. Finally, the worries were lifted. After the party, Li Yu and Shi Linfei stayed together for a long time before reluctantly parting. Travel through time. Back to the villa, Li Yu brought all the equipment, and the adventure journey finally set sail again. In an instant, Li Yu appeared in the hotel in Lanling City. Before that, Li Yu directly booked a room for a week, just to prevent the room from being occupied by other people if he stayed on Earth for too long. After all, if Li Yu suddenly crossed over and was seen by others, it would not be a good thing. If he was targeted, Li Yu would be miserable because his current strength was too low. In this magical continent full of strong people, Li Yu's most powerful level 35 health 3-headed dog was not enough. Lanling City, in the hotel restaurant, eating the food with a unique flavor of the other world, Li Yu felt that the food in this other world was really good. Li Yu had always been curious about what those people in the anime ate. After all, it was never introduced in the anime. Now Li Yu understands that it is not that they don't eat meat here, but that they eat meat growing on books here. Yes, that's it. The creator is so magical. There is no livestock here like on Earth, because elves are friends of humans, which is not allowed. Since when did this world have a supreme law? That is, it is forbidden to harm elves, and it is forbidden to eat them. Since its establishment, the Alliance has always abided by this rule and strictly enforced it. Once it is found that there is abuse or eating elves, it will be directly sentenced to death. Perhaps the god who created this world is a kind god, so this rule was established. Of course, perhaps God also considered the problem of meat food, so a magic tree was born. This magical tree is very magical, and can grow all kinds of meat fruits, and it is much more delicious than the meat on Earth. Li Yu was thinking that, if he raised all these magical meat fruits in these two worlds, he would make a fortune. Unfortunately, Li Yu is a man who is determined to become a god level trainer. How can he give up for just a few money? But it's okay to bring some back to a few close people. Li Yu thought so. After eating the delicious food, Li Yu came to the Daog branch in Lanling City again. Whenever he saw the steel building, like in a science fiction movie, Li Yu's heart was surging. It was really shocking. After entering, Li Yu took the flying ladder directly to the auxiliary props area on the 9th floor. It was the same beautiful waitress from last time. "Beauty, can you give me an estimate?" Li Yu said directly as she stepped forward. "Hey, it's you. Haha, I didn't expect you to get something again so soon. You are so lucky." The beautiful waitress obviously still remembered Li Yu. After all, she still remembered Li Yu very clearly. P.S. Kel has set up a book club. The group number is 249,794,847. If you have anything to say, you can tell me here. Please join us. I'm a new author and I don't have much experience with this book. I hope friends who like it can collect it. Please recommend, please comment, please do anything. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22 Flying Skateboard. Well, thank you for the compliment. But let's take a look at this energy stone first. Li Yu saw her half-smiley expression and recalled the embarrassing things that happened before and felt embarrassed. Oh my god. You are really lucky. You found such a big energy stone, and it's only been a few days. The beautiful waitress exclaimed when she saw the energy stone Li Yu took out. In fact, it's not the beauty waitress's fault for making a fuss. because in the magical continent, energy stones can only be unearthed in large quantities in the ancient ruins of the northern continent, and the other 3 continents are rarely found. Energy stones likely have at least 3000 energy points, so it's no wonder she was so surprised. Haha, I was just lucky to find it in an ancient ruins. Liu made up an excuse casually. Liu was also drunk. It was a mistake to sell an energy stone casually, and such a thing could happen. Fortunately, Xiaoshan absorbed some energy when he awakened, otherwise it would be more troublesome. But fortunately, there are also some ancient ruins on this continent. In those ruins, various ancient relics of ancient times are buried, and even treasures with magical powers. Luck. If I had your luck, I wouldn't have to work as a waitress here, the beautiful waitress said sourly. Ahem, let's talk about the deal first. Liu was helpless. Why did this chick hold on to him? He could only say awkwardly, okay, money grubber. Beep. Ordinary energy stone, containing 4000 energy points. Price. 10 million. How about it? Rich man, are you willing to pay this price? This is the highest price set by the Alliance. Other places are not much more. After scanning, the beautiful waitress looked at Liu and became a multi-millionaire and immediately said with some envy and jealousy, it's just luck, then let's trade. My card number is 158. Liu laughed dryly. Well, okay. You can use the gold card to see if you have received it. By the way, now you have 10 million. Do you want to buy something? I have everything here, and I can also offer discounts. Although I can't have the luck of Liu, it's still okay to kill it and earn some commission. Well, I'm going to buy a yacht. Do you have any recommendations? Liu didn't forget the real purpose of his visit, so he asked, yacht? Why do you want that? They are all antiques. It's better to buy a flying skateboard. The beautiful waitress asked in confusion. What? Antiques? Damn, this is embarrassing. Liu didn't expect that this magical continent has eliminated yachts into antiques, and he was stunned and didn't know how to answer. Well, okay. Introduce it to me. In order to maintain his mysterious image, Liu pretended to be calm. This flying skateboard is made of suspended stone, and it has a space opened up by space technology inside. It can be said to be very advanced and practical, and the price is not expensive. In addition, you can put it in the space watch at any time when not in use, and it will automatically absorb energy, so you don't have to worry about energy problems at all. Hearing that Liu had the desire to shop, the beautiful waitress' eyes lit up, and then talked about it. Oh, so advanced. How much? Although Liu wanted it very much, he thought the price would not be cheap, so he asked first. Not expensive, only 8.88 million. The beautiful woman looked at Liu with a smile on her face. Damn, 8.88 million, what a rip-off, right? The 10 million hasn't even warmed up yet. It's going to run out again. Liu cursed inwardly and thought to himself, can I? One price. Before Liu finished speaking, the beautiful waitress said directly, okay, I'll take it. Liu said helplessly. Thank you for your patronage, rich man. The beautiful waitress said with a smile. Humph. Goodbye. No, never see you again. After paying the money and taking the space watch handed over by the beautiful waitress, Liu said goodbye directly. It was too sad. Liu really didn't want to stay in this sad place for another second. Welcome to come again next time. Hearing the shout of the beautiful waitress, Liu, who was walking, almost stumbled and fell to the ground. Damn, I will never come again next time. My money. Liu shouted in his heart. After Liu walked outside the department store, he excitedly took out the flying skateboard from the space watch. Instantly, a 3-meter-sized oval skateboard appeared in front of Liu. The skateboard was silver white metallic, just like the one in the Fantastic Four. Liu controlled the skateboard to land on the ground. As soon as he stood on it, the skateboard flew directly into the sky, and the speed almost knocked Liu off. In fact, this was just Liu's self-perception, because the skateboard would automatically open a transparent energy shield when flying to block external interference. Slow down, slow down. After practice, Liu gradually became proficient and controlled the flying skateboard to play over Landling City. Li Yu felt that the 8.88 million was really worth it, and his attitude towards the beautiful waitress was not so resentful. He found that the flying skateboard could reach the speed of sound at most, but Li Yu could not see anything at the speed of sound, and was almost blinded by the flash. Moreover, the space in the flying skateboard was as big as a room. When you walk into the skateboard space, there is also a virtual screen inside that allows you to see the external environment clearly, which is convenient for operation. Of course, Li Yu can also choose automatic flight, as long as Li Yu chooses the destination. However, Li Yu immediately felt a little resentful about the fact that the skateboard space was not decorated, but was just an empty room full of sci-fi deja vu. Li Yu was already distressed to spend so much money, and now he had to spend money on decoration. There is not even a sofa to sit on. I have to buy these things. Li Yu just muttered this, and suddenly all kinds of furniture rose from the ground in the empty skateboard space. There is a bed, a sofa, a kitchen and a bathroom. Although it is a little simple, it is better than nothing. It seems that this alliance is not so stingy. It turned out that this flying skateboard actually had such a setting. Li Yu, who understood it, nodded with satisfaction. Hey, shameless people are invincible in the world. I don't know who was slandering them just now. Just after experimenting with the specific functions of the flying skateboard, Li Yu was chased down. Who told Li Yu to fly around in the sky? I don't know that there is a rule that you can only fly at low altitudes. Li Yu really didn't know, but he didn't dare to refute. As for the reason, one is because he is afraid of exposing his feet, and the other is because he can't beat them. Riding the wind without any support, this is a level of an immortal. Li Yu couldn't afford to offend him. Could it be that the people here can also cultivate immortality? Li Yu wondered in his heart. Master, you are so stupid. Zion and I suddenly flew out and said, hey, you just ran out like this. It would be terrible if you were discovered. You are so disobedient. Li Yu said anxiously. Master, you are stupid. This is a skateboard space. Who can see it? And it's not like there are no elves like me in my world. Really? Zion and I said with contempt. Okay. By the way, what do you mean by what you said just now? Li Yu looked around and found that he was indeed in the skateboard space, and Zion and I's words seemed to make a lot of sense. He was embarrassed and didn't know what to say. Chapter 23 5-Element Yin and Yang Secret. Haha. Actually, the master is thinking the same thing. Although the people here don't know how to cultivate immortality, when they reach the master level, the alliance will help them to bind their lives with the elves. Then they can share life and abilities with the elves. As long as they are trained and run after binding, they can basically strengthen their strength with the elves and have magical and powerful powers. Zion and I explained. Damn, so cruel, so powerful. If you bind with a divine beast, you will be immortal. Hearing Zion and I's explanation, Li Yu exclaimed. How is it possible? Let's not talk about whether you can subdue the divine beast. Even if you subdue and bind it, it will die after a few thousand years at most. The divine beast is not immortal. Zion and I retorted. Okay. It seems that I have been misled by the anime again, but can I bind it then? Li Yu asked impatiently. Master, you have more advanced abilities. Have you forgotten the sharing function of the system? Zion and I reminded. Oh, I don't understand it very well. You know I'm stupid. Explain it to me. Li Yu said pitifully. Okay, Master, you are really too stupid. Zion and I said helplessly. In fact, the reason why the sharing function of the system is so powerful is that you can share it many times. You can share it once every time you upgrade your permissions. Just think about it, how powerful you will be then. But you still can't live forever. Li Yu retorted. Well, it really can't. At most, you can increase your lifespan by a few thousand years. Oh, by the way, Master, you can cultivate immortality. I have all kinds of immortal cultivation techniques from the ancient times. Zion and I suddenly said. Yes. They say that cultivating immortality leads to longevity. How could I forget it? Li Yu said in surprise. Quick, choose a god level technique for me that can help me become an immortal sooner. Li Yu said urgently. Master, do you think cultivating immortality is like buying vegetables? You can have whatever you want, and god level techniques I need to see your root bones first, and then I can choose the technique that suits you. As for what level it is, I'm not sure. Zion and I said. Well then, I don't know if I have a root bone. If not, Liu said dejectedly. Don't be discouraged, let me see. It's so strange. Why is there no impurity in the master's body? Could it be the legendary pure immortal body? Zion and I suddenly exclaimed. That's right. After Liu's physique was recondensed by the mysterious figure, it directly became the legendary pure immortal body. From this, we can also see how terrible the mysterious figure's strength is, but Liu doesn't know all this. What is the pure immortal body? It sounds awesome. Liu asked curiously. Master, you are really a pervert, just a little stupid. Zion and I said. Damn, are you praising me or insulting me? This Zion and I is going to rebel against the sky, even daring to scold the master. At first, I thought this guy was very cute, but his true nature was exposed in less than a day. But remember that he has existed for many years. At that age, Master, don't be angry. I have good news for you. The master's bones are very perfect, which is rare in the ages. Zion and I exclaimed. Then I can cultivate immortality? Liu said excitedly. That's right, and once the master starts practicing, he will definitely make rapid progress. Zion and I said. Really? Then quickly choose a technique for me. I want to practice it right away. Liu said urgently. Master, considering your physique, there is no best technique, because any technique is the same for you. I don't know which one to give you. Zion and I said. Then choose the simplest one. I'm afraid I can't learn it. Liu said directly. Okay. Then learn this 5-element yin and yang secret. You can practice multiple attributes at the same time. Although not many people can practice it, it is definitely a piece of cake for the master. Zion and I passed the information about the technique to Liu's mind, and then suddenly said, as if he remembered something. The sudden information almost burst Liu's head. If Liu's soul had not been strengthened, he might have fainted directly. Damn, Zion and I, you want to murder me? Liu, who had recovered a little, said angrily. Master, I have to go back first. Goodbye. Zion and I forgot that Liu was currently powerless, and immediately used the escape method to return to the system. Damn it, if you dare to come out again, I will punish you. Liu said angrily. After calming down, Liu sat cross-legged on the ground and seriously comprehended the 5-element yin and yang secret. As Zion and I said, no matter what technique Liu practiced, he would make rapid progress. Because as soon as Liu saw the technique, he knew how to do it, and the technique was running very smoothly, and there was no worry that he would not be able to learn it before. In addition, the spiritual energy of this magical continent is sufficient, which is much stronger than the polluted spiritual energy on the earth, so Liu can sense the existence of spiritual energy faster. But Liu didn't know this yet. When he knew it, he almost thought that his talent had disappeared. As the technique was running, the spiritual energy in Liu's body continued to flow and condense, and then hovered in the danshan, and so on, over and over again. But what Liu didn't know was that when the spiritual energy passed through the meridians at the center of the eyebrows, a small part of it would suddenly disappear, and no one knew where it went. An hour later, the spiritual energy at Liu's danshan had condensed into 3 cyclones, reaching the 3rd level of the human level. The levels of immortal cultivation on earth are human level, yellow level, Zuan level, earth level, spirit level, heaven level, emperor level, immortal level, god level, and each level is divided into 10 levels. Although the levels on earth are the same as the magical continent, with a total of 100 levels. In terms of strength, earth is much higher, because earth is pursuing the supreme avenue and wants to live. As long as the heaven and earth, there are very few who can really become powerful. The elves on the magical continent can be said to be countless, just like mass production. Only those legendary beasts can be compared with the Earth's strongmen, otherwise several elves may not be able to beat an Earth cultivator of the same level. This speed is simply against the sky. Liu, who stopped practicing, said excitedly. After wasting so much time, it's time to go to the training hall, and it's time to upgrade my permissions. Liu thought to himself. The Yanlang Training Hall in Lanling City is located in the west of the city, covering an area of nearly 10,000 meters. It is really spectacular from a distance. The Yanlan clan is a branch of the Dragon clan, but even if it is a branch, its strength is comparable to that of a first-class family. The Yanlan training hall has influence throughout the Kanto region. The Kanto region includes Lanling City, Lira City, Changpan City, Nabi City, Hulan City, Kuai City, Rainbow City, Xiuan City, Golden City, Kyanhang City, Crimson Island, and the Champion Road and Champion Mountain for the final rookie competition. As for other areas such as the Hone region and the 7 Islands of Water, let's not talk about it for now, and talk about it later. Chapter 24. Issues regarding changes to the previous settings. Today, Coke has made some changes to the previous plot. First of all, there is the issue of elves with mythical qualifications. These elves improve their strength by understanding the original power. Therefore, they are not bound by skills. Whatever skills they create, they are what skills they have. There is no restriction on reaching a certain level to learn skills. Only ordinary elves can only understand the skills inherited in their blood due to qualification restrictions, and cannot break through the level restrictions. There is also the setting of the map. First of all, the entire continent is divided into the Kanto region, the Johto region, the Hone region, the Sinnoh region, the 7 Water Islands, etc. The Kanto region includes Lanling City, Chiankin City, Changpan City, Nabi City, Hulan City, Kuroba City, Rainbow City, Xiuan City, Golden City, Light Red City, Crimson Island, Gemini Island, and finally the Champion Road and Champion Mountain for the rookie competition. For the Kanto rookie competition, you must first pass the Champion Road. On the way, there will be official personnel from the Alliance blocking the player's progress. Only by defeating them can you continue to move forward. After passing the test of the Champion Road, you need to climb the Champion Mountain. In the process of climbing the Champion Mountain, you need to choose one of the 3 tests, the Underground Maze, the Rapids, and the Aerial Purgatory. After passing it, you can reach the top of the Champion Mountain. The top 64 players who reach the top of the Champion Mountain will be ranked through real mutual fighting to compete for the final championship. The current plot is concentrated in the Kanto region. As for the specific settings of the Johto region and the Hone region, I will tell you later. Please don't mind. After all, Coke is a newcomer, and the plot needs to be modified, but only some background settings are modified, which will not affect everyone's reading. Chapter 25 General Training. The Yanlan Training Gym in Lanling City generally serves trainers below the master level, that is, rookie trainers whose adventure time is no more than 10 years. Because if you reach the master level, ordinary training will have little effect on improving your strength, and has no meaning, so at this time you have to go to the capital area of the Alliance for training. The City of Creation, the center of the entire continent, is a paradise for trainers. It can be said that people born there are either children of big families or descendants of hidden masters. The City of Creation is not just a city, but includes all the cities built by more than a dozen families around it. Therefore, it is called another area besides Kanto and Johto, the Pokémon Paradise. There, the training gym will have training methods and instruments that are more suitable for high-level Pokémons, but not everyone can go there. Only those who have reached the level of master trainers can be allowed to enter. Of course, if you are a descendant of a certain family, it is a different story. Unfortunately, our protagonist Liu is not. Entering the training hall, Liu first used the elf machine to swipe his card to record his information. This elf machine is like a collection of ID cards, bank cards, mobile phones, computers and other items, and its functions are extremely powerful. After obtaining the membership certificate, when Liu goes to train or fight, he only needs to use the elf machine to select training or fighting, and then the training room and the fighting arena will be automatically assigned. Look, Liu was assigned to training room 213 as soon as he chose training. Liu was speechless about this number. In training room 213. Well, it seems that the conditions here are still very good. Liu exclaimed at the advanced training facilities around. Although this training room looks small from the outside, once you enter, you will find that the space inside is at least as large as 3 or 4 gymnasiums, and the terrain of the venue here can be changed as you wish, which is convenient for trainers to train elves with different attributes. Everyone come out. After selecting various terrains, Liu released all the elves and prepared to start training. Suddenly, 6 elves with different expressions suddenly appeared in front of Liu. Roar. As soon as the fiery red figure appeared, the blazing flames on the tip of his tail attracted people's attention. Charmander, Liu's first elf. Bang bang bang. Butterfree, the first elf that Liu subdued. Butterfree's dark blue appearance and black and white wings made people daunted at first sight. Crackling the steel-like green body, the sharp double blades seemed to be able to cut through everything. The heroic Scyther. KK. Cassie, the khaki figure who came and went without a trace, although he was always sleeping soundly, but when he woke up, he would be the nightmare of the enemy. Hua hua. Sound of running water. The red figure swimming happily in the water had a dull expression, so that people doubted his strength, but no one knew his future terra magic carp. Roar. As the dark figure appeared, the rest of the elves froze. The divine beast's ocean, although the terrifying divine beast's pressure was not released deliberately, the momentum it inadvertently revealed was also frightening. Okay, let's get familiar with each other first. We will be a family in the future, understand? Liu saw the unfamiliar look between the elves and immediately realized his negligence. Fortunately, it was not too late, and he could cultivate the relationship between them in time. Hearing Liu's words, the little fire dragon and several elves walked in front of Zaocean carefully, with some awe, some admiration, and some yearning in their eyes. Although Zaocean had a cold and arrogant temperament after waking up, he actually yearned for the friendship of his partners. Therefore, several elves soon started chatting happily. Liu didn't know how these elves understood each other's meaning, but he didn't delve into it. As long as the result was good, it was enough. After playing with the elves for a few minutes, Liu said to the elves, "Okay, now we have to start training." Hearing this, the elves immediately became very motivated, because they all wanted to become as strong as Zaocean, and Zaocean's desire for power was even stronger. Because the painful experience of being on the verge of death was something he never wanted to happen again, and only by having strength could one control his own destiny. Charmander, what you need most now is to practice your basic skills. The first is a claws. This skill requires you to practice swinging your claws constantly to improve the power, speed, and accuracy of your attacks. There is also the ability to howl. You need to practice emitting flames along with the howl, but this is difficult and cannot be learned in a short time. You can practice slowly and don't force yourself. The ability of Dragon's Fury is a mixed blessing. Although it has strong attack power, it will also affect your mind, causing your rationality to be discouraged and your reaction speed to be reduced, thus affecting your combat effectiveness. So you have to learn to control your emotions and not be impulsive or irritable. You also need to do some weight bearing exercises to increase your strength in preparation for learning to throw over the shoulder. Although Charmander is currently very talented, his physical fitness has not reached its current peak and his potential has not been fully tapped. So Liu decided to let him improve his physical fitness and lay a solid foundation first. Butterfree, because you won't evolve again, you can only improve your strength by upgrading, and most of your abilities are control assisted, so you need to make your skills more powerful. For example, your poison powder, paralysis powder, and sleep powder. The release methods of these 3 powders are very similar, but the energy used is somewhat different. So you need to practice using 3 different energies at the same time, and directly release the 3 powders at the same time, so that your strength will be greatly improved. In addition, your telekinesis skills require you to constantly use telekinesis to control items and continuously improve the strength of telekinesis, which can also increase your counter-attack ability. In addition, you have the advantage of flying, so you can practice constantly flapping your wings, driving the energy around you, and launching attacks similar to wind blades. Butterfree is the least talented among Liu's elves, but his role is indeed not to be ignored. If the 3 series of powders are successfully fused, it will be a completely plug-in-like existence, so Liu decided to train it into an auxiliary elf, but at the same time it has a certain ability to attack and protect itself. Spy Mantis, your attacks are all about going forward bravely and moving forward in a big way, so I will teach you how to use your double sickles better. First, you can cooperate with the lightning flash skill and use your body or double sickles to attack the opponent after accelerating to increase your attack power. There is also the ability to gather energy. You need to constantly increase the amount of your energy, and then when practicing gathering energy, try to condense it into a spiral wave or a true energy bomb, so that you can better utilize your ability to gather energy and add some trump cards to yourself. Finally, you also need to constantly exercise your physical fitness, strengthen your body, especially the double sickles, so that you can fight more persistently. Spy Mantis is like a general, never retreating and moving forward bravely. Therefore, attacking skills and strong physical fitness are also very important. As for Cassie, hey, forget it, you just sleep all the time. Liu was envious and jealous of Cassie, because as long as he keeps sleeping, he can train his mental strength and improve his strength. This is the biggest plugin. Gyarados, I'm very optimistic about you. Although you look very weak now, you have to believe in yourself, because your future is simply incomparable to others. But now you only know the two abilities of Water Splash and Rampage, so what you need to practice most is to improve your attack skills. For example, for Water Splash, you can practice using the Rampage to increase the impact force and attack the opponent after using the Water Splash. In addition, as the future king, you must learn the kind of self-centered momentum, forge ahead bravely, and use your strength to give the enemy a head-on blow. So your other training is to keep trying to jump over this waterfall and conquer it with your momentum. Fish leaping over the dragon gate. Only by overcoming various seemingly impossible challenges can you be reborn and transformed into a dragon. I believe you can do it. Liu feels that the future Gyarados does not need any attack skills because his powerful strength is the best skill and he can crush everything with strength. Finally, it's you, Zaocean. You have the best talent and the highest strength, but your only shortcoming is that you need to comprehend the source of your own strength. It can be said that the more you can comprehend the source of your strength, the more strength you can exert. So your training is to constantly comprehend your own strength, but you must remember that strength is not a tool. You can only use it better if you treat it as your own hands and feet. Because Zaocean had just awakened, he was just a young puppy before, so he had no way to fully control the powerful strength he suddenly possessed. After Liu's plan and explanation, the elves all had goals for their own practice. Although it was impossible to achieve it overnight, it would be of great benefit to their future practice. Okay, Charmander, Butterfree, Scyther, think about it first. Don't rush into training. There will be more time in the future. The most important thing is to find your own way first. This training time is 5 hours. I will practice with you. Let's do our best. After Liu finished speaking, he let the elves train separately. Even Cassie didn't know where to teleport to sleep, and Liu also started his first training. Thanks to the book friends, Extreme Charge, 10 recommendation votes, Source Crystal, 3 recommendation votes, Sad Straight Man, 3 recommendation votes, and Laugh at Life, 2 recommendation votes. This is a new book by a newcomer, and the author does not have much experience. I hope friends who like it can collect it. Please recommend, please comment, please ask for anything. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.